It's time for the Catawba Valley High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you exclusively in the Valley on Kicks 103.3 and anywhere online at GoFoothills.com. By Blue Moose Coffee Lodge, Bobcat of Lenore, Clay Anders Insurance, Fry Regional Medical Center, High Brighton Building Supply, Car Source of Lenore, Carolina West Wireless, CCC and TI, Hickory Home and Garden Center, Hostile Diesels, Life Store Insurance, Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy, Skyline National Bank, and Western Piedmont Community College. Now, with executive producer Justin Carlton in the studio, let's head out to the stadium with Jeff Link and David Jones.
In a long list of things that divide us, for some reason, something as simple as geography seems to regularly be at the top of the list. Take North versus South, for example. The Rust Belt or the Sun Belt. The Corn Belt or the Bible Belt. Tonight, in a geographical twist only Carmen Sandiego could love, the North Gaston Wildcats have actually traveled north to take on South Caldwell. Directionally confusing? Perhaps, but what's certain is this. Tonight's game features a pair of 1 and 2 teams looking to keep two-game skids from turning into a 3-game tailspin. And with conference play on the horizon, tonight's matchup is definitely a right-the-ship game for both of these teams. Exclusive coverage of our Week 4 matchup between the North Gaston Wildcats and the South Caldwell Spartans on Kicks 103.3 begins right now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome aboard to a picture-perfect night for high school football in the Catawba Valley on Kicks. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me introduce your Kicks sports team. Starting back at Network Control, the executive producer of tonight's broadcast and tomorrow morning's scoreboard is Justin Carlton. He'll pop in to the Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show shortly to give you a rundown on the somewhat short list of games in the Catawba Valley tonight. You'll hear him again during the Bobcat of Lenore halftime show as he gets you caught up on all those scores. To my left in the press box, high above the playing surface, is the AD of the Caldwell Cobras, providing color commentary and analysis, the very best in the business, Mr. Jeff Link. My name's David Jones. It's my privilege to call all the action for you tonight. And Jeff Link, as we officially kick off the Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show, just, short and sweet and to the point, what's it going to take for South Caldwell to return to its winning ways tonight?
Got to take care of the ball. I think you got to establish dominance at the line of scrimmage. This is an athletic team. Now, you look out there as they're warming up, they have a lot of bodies, but that's a little bit misconstrued because they canceled their JV program this week and moved their JVs up, so you got a lot of JVers that are out there. But
North Gaston.
Yeah, North Gaston. So this is I think this is much like the Week 1 matchup that South Caldwell had against West Caldwell. Athletic team, but how are they up front? And so for the Spartans, you should have the advantage up front. Now, Spartans also facing some injuries and some different things there, mixing some kids in, so we'll see what happens. But let's make no bones about it. For South Caldwell, I think this is a critical point in their season. This is a must-win game tonight. You win tonight, I think it propels them to do some better things later on as they get into the season. Are they going to beat Watauga? Are they going to beat Freedom? Probably not. Can they beat Alexander Central? Can they beat McDowell? Can they beat St. Stephen's? If they get a victory here tonight and carry that momentum, yes, I think they can. Now, they still have a non-conference game against TC Roberson next week at the Hall of Fame night. But I think a win tonight would put them back at 2-2 and give them some confidence. If they lose here tonight, I worry about a tailspin for the Spartans. And I don't know if they don't win tonight, I don't know if they win the rest of the season. So that's something that they've got to battle, and I'm not wishing any ill will on them. We all picked them tonight to win, but they've got to take care of business tonight. I think this, and every coach will tell you, the most important game on your schedule is the next game on your schedule. But I think for the South Caldwell Spartans, their season hinges on tonight.
We can look out there and we can see the X's and the O's and the Johnnies and the Joes, and we can read stats. But as far as what is between the ears for South Caldwell tonight and what's beating behind that chest protector and the status of that locker room, what kind of importance do you place on that super, super intangible but very real thing that South Caldwell might be going through right now to kind of keep this team a team and a cohesive unit?
Yeah, well, they've got to win. Nothing cures anything more than a W. And, I've got a lot of experience this year so far with over football teams. All my teams are over. But the thing about South Caldwell is you had a win week 1, and you looked good week 1. We kept saying very polished against West Caldwell, an improved West Caldwell team. But, it got out of hand early against Highbright, got out of hand early last week against Tuscola. They've got to keep things close here in this first half to give them a chance to win. But I think that the thing with this South Caldwell team, and every team is a little bit different, what I worry about with this team and their makeup is when things go bad, it goes bad in a hurry. And that just happens. It happened last year. I'll use the Caldwell Cobras, for example, our men's basketball team. If you took our halftime record, last season we only lost like 2 games. We led at the half of every game, but we couldn't finish a second half. And it was one of those things. Once we got down 4 or 5 possessions in a second half, we dropped our heads, and we just couldn't get back in the game. That's what I worry about this South Caldwell team is once they get down early, they take that punch, they're not able to recover from it tonight. Now, the good news is this North Gaston team, they've only scored 1 touchdown per quarter. That when you look at the average, they've not scored more than twice in a quarter. So if you can hold things, if South Caldwell goes in at the half up, or if it's a close ball game within a possession, I think South Caldwell has a great chance to win the second half. But if they get down 2 or 3 scores in this first half, I worry that those kids are going to say, oh, no, here we go again, and then that confidence drops. That's what the coaching staff has to worry about is how do you keep that confidence up to let's just keep fighting, next play, let's stay in this ball game. That's the big challenge for this South Caldwell team.
Well, you make a good point. We'll discuss a little bit of that in the Carolina West Wireless Keys to the Game a little bit later. Last question as we bring the first segment of the Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show to a close. I kind of think South Caldwell needs to get back to that balanced attack to keep this North Gaston offense on the sideline. They've got a special 2-way player that I'm going to ask their coach about in a minute, and we'll call his name tonight quite a bit, I imagine, through our show, through our game. But it's the South Caldwell offense, we've seen them clicking at a high level. The South Caldwell defense has been leaky at times. So I think if you're Casey Justice tonight, I know you like to throw the football. Corbin McGinnis, when he's clicking, is as good as any quarterback you'll see in this area. But I think you're going to want to control the clock and shorten this game if you're South Caldwell and lean on North Gaston. So from an X and O standpoint, I think tonight South Caldwell might want to see a shorter game with fewer possessions.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And, across the way, and I'm sure you'll ask this when you talk to Darrell Williams, their head coach, or Wilson, their head coach. They're hungry to get a victory as well, too. I mean, this is 2 1-2 games. I have folks asking me, my mom, Rhonda's your biggest fan, Dickie's my biggest fan. She has asked me about the game tonight. And I said, it's 2 1-2 teams. I said it should be a good game. But these are 2 teams, I think the same things that we just said about South Caldwell, you can say about North Gaston. They get into conference play next week, and this is a team, they've got some tough opponents. We talked about Watauga, and we talked about Freedom that looms large for this South Caldwell team. This is a North Gaston team that they're going to have the Ash Brooks and the Hunter Huss and those teams. I think Hunter Huss is their team that they play next week. They've got some heavy hitters in their conference as well, too, so they've got to get a little bit of confidence heading into this. So I think we got an opportunity to have a really good football game tonight. I think we're going to see a lot of points tonight. If you're a fan of offensive football, I think you're going to see a lot of points tonight. And so if you're a South Caldwell fan, and we'll probably paint this broadcast tonight leaning a little bit towards the maroon and silver, you want to take control early of this ball game. And as you said, I think control the line of scrimmage and then control that clock late.
Good point. And for everyone who may be listening down in Gaston County, we kind of get on the fringes there around Maiden or Lincolnton. But if you're online at gofoothills.com, couldn't make it up to Caldwell County tonight, we certainly appreciate you tuning in to the game. Freshly roasted coffee made just the way you like it. Pastries, kid-friendly drinks, 100% real fruit smoothies, and so much more. Blue Moose Coffee Lodge has drinks for everyone and every season. Go fill your cup at Blue Moose Coffee Lodge, 250 Morganton Boulevard in Lenoir. Check them out online, BlueMooseCoffeeLodge.com.
Before we go to our first break and get down for our coach's interview by Car Source of Lenoir, you said something, and you always do a good job in our pregame, but something that I heard today on another network station I was listening, I want to bring it up too. It's been a tough week, and it seems like we have tough weeks all the time in our country, but it's been a tough week. But you said something. What unites us? And it's Friday nights.
Yes.
It's Saturday nights. And if you're looking for healing and whichever side you're on, this side or that side, you're going to have folks tonight that we're on the South Caldwell side. It's cheer for the Spartans night. They're going to have the little kids here tonight. You're hoping if you're a South Caldwell fan, it's going to be a big victory, and you don't know if the person sitting next to you what religion, what race, well, you'll know what race, but what religion, what political.
Yeah.
But you're going to be united pulling for the silver and maroon. And across the way, the black and gold, the same thing. And tomorrow, if you're a Tennessee fan, if you're in Neyland Stadium, you're going to be pulling for the orange, and you're not going to know if the person beside you, whatever. That's what unites us, and that's what we need to get back to. It's 24 years ago this week that we were united. And as a terrible event as 9/11 was, it was the most united we've been as a nation. And I heard this yesterday, and I don't like to get political, but I think 9/12, we're sitting here at 9/12 today. I think 9/12, 2001 America would be really disappointed in 9/12. 2025, and we've got to get past that, and football is the thing that can do that. So wherever you're at tonight, whoever you're pulling for, cheer for your team, and let's get united over that.
When we look at the big picture, we have more that unites us than divides us, and it depends on where you place your focus. The T-shirts that you see in the crowds on Friday night are true. God, family, country. That's it.
And football.
That's where it's at. And football. Faith, family, football. You know the drill.
The 3 F's.
You know the drill. We will take a time out. On the other side of the Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show, we'll sit down and talk with the head coach of these programs, Casey Justice and Darrell Wilson. Justin Carlton will run you through a list of the somewhat abbreviated schedule as several teams in our area have come up against the dreaded bye week tonight. We hope you'll stay with us for all the pregame show and the game. It is week 4, North Gaston and South Caldwell. You're listening to it on GoFoothills.com or right here in the Valley on Kicks 103.3. Week 4 of the high school football season underway from South Caldwell High School. The Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show rolls on. Time for the Car Source of Lenore coaches interviews. Standing by the head coach of North Gaston, Darrell Wilson. Coach, 2 of your first 3 games have been one-possession games. Last week it was 13 points going into the 4th quarter. What's been the difference for your guys in these close games this year?
It's really been discipline at the key moments. We hadn't been very disciplined. We don't have a lot of injuries, so I had to move the JV team up. We don't have a JV squad no more. I had to move them all up. So hopefully that cuts down on the injuries, having guys play both ways. So hopefully we'll be a little bit more disciplined now. Even though we got younger guys, I know they're going to make mistakes, but at least we got a lot of guys going both ways.
Yeah, Ironman football. It is tough coming from someone who did it. Keldon Williams looks to be a special player for you guys. If you would describe for people who haven't seen him yet, I mean, leads you in rushing, leads you in receiving, leads you in tackles, leads in interceptions. Tell us a little bit about number 3.
Number 3 is a hard-nosed kid. I'll tell you what, he put a lot of work in all season in the weight room, bulked up a little bit, got a little bit stronger. He got a passion for the game. He wants to be out there every time. He wants to make the big play. He's trying to step into a leadership role type guy. He wants to play college ball, and I told him, I said, you got to stick out. So far he's been doing that. So with guys being injured, that kind of showcases his talent a little bit more.
Absolutely. Where will you guys need to execute at a high level tonight to be successful on the road?
It's just really about being disciplined with our eyes on defense, watching our keys, because they do a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of different change direction stuff. Offense, we push the sled every day this week, even on Thursday. So we got to keep our feet moving on offensive line. We good on first initial contact, then we stop our feet. We got to finish blocks. And, our running backs got to hold on to the ball. We had a lot of fumbles. So I got new kids back there. One kid quit, but it is what it is, and we're going to try it out, see, hopefully hold on to the ball and run hard.
Well, Coach, let's look at South Caldwell. When they've been good, they've been balanced. What's your main concern about the South Caldwell offense?
Again, it makes you play disciplined football. And in high school kids are not being disciplined, they're going to get gashed easily. And it's like you can stop them, but next thing you know, you mess up on one play, that's 7 points. So usually that kind of reminds me of like a South Point offense. They want you to make 3 mistakes. That's 21 points. In high school football, if you get to 21, that's the key number. We got to stop that. Like I told them, they want you to make 3 mistakes in the whole game. I don't care if you get them for a 1-yard loss, 2-yard loss. They'll hit you for a 7-yard run. But we got to be disciplined.
That Red Raider triple option, that's tough. That's tough. Well, I know you mentioned it briefly, but coming into week 4 now, what's the general health of your team injury-wise?
Well, we get more guys back next week. We'll probably be kind of almost full tilt next week. Number 8, Donovan Rook, he won't be back. He finally got cleared. He'll start back Monday. I got a couple guys still out with hand injuries, broken fingers. They'll be back that can help spell some guys in, plus experience. So right now I'm trying to get through this week with a lot of inexperienced guys, but, football's football.
That's Darrell Wilson, head coach of the North Gaston Wildcats. Appreciate your time tonight, Coach. Thanks. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, there we go. We're almost ready for South Caldwell and North Gaston. We'll send it back to the studio and Justin Carlton to continue the Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show with a preview of all the games going around the Catawba Valley tonight.
All right, thanks, DJ. Let's look at your Week 4 games here in the Valley. We got Freedom at T.C. Roberson. Polk County is at Patton. Alexander Central is at Statesville. Hickory is at Newton Conover. Maiden is at Bunker Hill. Bandy's is at East Lincoln. North Lincoln is at West Iredell. St. Stephen's is at North Iredell. McDowell is at Avery County. Shelby is at West Lincoln. And Lincolnton is at Burns. All right, we'll head back down to the field where Jeff Leck stands with Casey Justice of the South Caldwell Spartans.
So, Justin, what the schedule lacks in quantity tonight, it makes up in quality. We continue with the Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show and the Car Source of Lenore coaches interviews. Jeff Link being joined now by South Caldwell head coach Casey Justice. Coach, not the start that you were wanting, but it's a new week, a new opponent. What's been the message to your team this week?
Just a new start. We got a lot of guys out, a lot of guys banged up, so we get to see a lot of young cats in the game now, and hopefully they can step up and make plays.
Spartans are good at home. You guys, you've won 3 of your last 4 games at Spartan Stadium. What makes it special playing at home?
There's nothing like playing here. You grow up here watching it. You want to be a part of it. It's a special place.
Corbin McGinnis, your veteran QB. What have you seen out of him 3 weeks in now? Good game against South. Last 2 weeks taking losses. But what have you found out about your veteran QB?
Just toughness. He's been tough throughout. There's been some decisions here and there, but he's taken a beating the last 2 weeks, and he's hung in there and made some plays for us. So we're going to try to keep him upright and keep him on his launching point tonight.
Speaking about taking a beating, health-wise, we're 4 weeks into the season. How's the health of your team?
Well, we talked about early staying healthy, and it's not really where we want to be, but it's a good chance for young kids to get up here and get some reps for conference play. Obviously, we lost our starting center and captain, Patrick Cobb, Parker Cobb for the rest of the year probably, so we'll have 2 new centers in the night, and we'll have a different set of tight in the wing with the athletes of Bradley and Clay, so still have some young guys in, getting an opportunity.
You look at this team across the way from you, what concerns you?
Extremely athletic across the board. They got some guys that can really go. They're solid up front, and they got some home run hitters in that backfield for sure.
Your Florida State Seminoles have the week off, so who are you going to be watching tomorrow?
I'm watching everybody tomorrow, pal. Actually, we're going to Hendersonville to watch my little girl's first travel tournament, so we'll be in the mountains tomorrow.
So are you going to be helping coach, or are you going to be on the sideline?
No, sir, I'm watching tomorrow. Cheer you up and watching.
So I know you have to deal with parents all the time, so are you going to be that guy?
No, I'm going to do it by myself.
All right, Casey Justice, head coach of the South Caldwell Spartans. Thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
As Casey Justice, the head coach of the South Caldwell Spartans. This concludes our Car Source of Lenore coaches interview. The Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show keeps brewing. After this break, you're listening to the clear sound of high school football in the Valley. Kicks 103.3 FM.
Everyone at the Car Source of Lenore is ready to make the car shopping and car buying experience fast, friendly, and easy. Find your next car at the Car Source of Lenore, 542 Wilkesboro Boulevard, or carsourceoflenore.com. Tell Rhonda Taylor the Kick Sports Team sent you. Pre-game show brought to you by Blue Moose Coffee Lodge rolls on. It's time for the Life Store Insurance pre-game show. A very comfortable 75 degrees here at Spartan Stadium. Low humidity of 58%. Winds 4 miles dead out of the east. Gusts up to 8 miles per hour. No precipitation today. None in sight. Sunset scheduled by the good Lord for 7:36 tonight. Visibility is absolutely clear as a bell. 25-mile visibility. Life Store Insurance was born in Northwest North Carolina in 1997 to serve the foothills and high country. Independent agents looking out for all your insurance needs. They're also a bank and can assist with your investments and financial planning. 324 Morganton Boulevard in Lenore, or lifestoreinsurance.com. Time for a quick look at your uniforms. The visitors from North Gaston, white jerseys, white pants, black numbers, gold trim, black helmets with the appearance on either side as if a wildcat had used its claws to slice through
my favorite
flesh.
Helmet of the year so far. I thought that was a sweet helmet.
It is, and Drone has used that logo at one point in the past We will take a quick timeout here at South Caldwell High School as the South Caldwell Marching Band is on the field. They are about to play our nation's national anthem. We will be back in just a moment. We'll finish up with tonight's captains and officials, the coin toss, the rest of the uniform check, and so much more as we get ready for Week 4 action between North Gaston and South Caldwell on your home for high school football in the Valley, Kicks 103.3. South Caldwell Marching Regiment on the field after an excellent rendition of the national anthem tonight. Welcome back to Week 4 coverage of high school football on Kicks 103.3. Justin Carlton back at Network Control, Jeff Link alongside. I'm David Jones. We get back into the uniform report and the coin toss brought to you by Skyline National Bank. Skyline National Bank can discuss your banking needs right here in Lenoir. You can go see Felicia Stewart at 509 Wilkesboro Boulevard or Dana Watson in the Hudson office. John Blair handles the commercial lending in Lenoir. Skyline National Bank, always our best. We'll wrap up the South Caldwell uniform report. The Spartans in their familiar maroon and silver jerseys tonight, maroon tops, maroon pants with white stripes down each leg, white numbers, maroon helmets with the silver stripe down the center. You've got the Spartan logo on one side, the numeral on the opposite side, a la University of Alabama, and that concludes your uniform reports brought to you by Skyline National Bank. I'll throw it over to Jeff Link now for tonight's captains and officials, brought to you by Hickory Home and Garden Center.
All right, before we get to that, thank you to the Caldwell County Sheriff's Department Color Guard. Did a good job tonight. Of course, a little bit of a remembrance moment of silence for the 24th anniversary of 9/11 that happened yesterday, but good job to the Caldwell County Sheriff's Department Color Guard. Our officials tonight, as assigned by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Head referee Stephen Pullis, he's a boom guy. James Farrington is the umpire. Linesman is James Castevens. The line judge is Scott Miller, and the back judge is Patrick Donahue. The captains tonight for North Gaston: number 3, Keldon Williams; number 5, Gage Fallon; number 10, Camden Knupp; and number 61, Desmond Simmons. Your captains for the South Caldwell Spartans: number 2, Gunnar Farrell; number 3, Corbin McGinnis; number 42, Mason Holler; and number 60, Patrick Cobb, as Casey Justice mentioned in our Car Source of Lenore coaches interview. Patrick Parker Cobb is injured. He was the starting center. He's out there on crutches, and looks like that's a season-ending injury, but still taking part as a captain.
Jeff, as you keep your eye on tonight's coin toss, I'll tell you that is brought to you by Hickory Home and Garden Center since 1963. Hickory Home and Garden Center has been a family-owned and operated store that locals trust for all their hardware, garden, and construction needs. They're a John Deere dealer. They've also got one of the largest selections of Milwaukee tools in the area. 336 Highway 321 in Hickory, or online at hickorygreenstore.com. As soon as the coin toss is over, we'll get into our last segment, and it'll be the Carolina West wireless keys to the game. But this seems to be a little bit of a lengthy description of the coin out there tonight.
Yeah, one side's heads, one side's tail. It's the CCC&TI coin. This is Mark Porch. He is the head. The Cobra is the tail. Hey, Kobe the new Cobra. Did you see that?
Kobe?
Kobe.
Is it Kobe
K-O-B-I. Kobe the
okay,
Cobra.
All right. Well,
yeah, I'll get him to come to a ball game with us.
Do we have, like, who was it? Just one person recommend that name, or was that several?
No, it was several. It was several. There were several versions of Kobe, but that one was the one that was voted on. North Gaston has won the toss. They go against Kenny Chesney and say, we defer to the second half. So Kenny Chesney says, Spartans, you take the ball.
All righty, that brings us to the Carolina West Wireless keys to the game. When it's time to do better with your wireless, it's time for Carolina West. Right now, you can get unlimited data per line for 2 lines for just $35 per month with auto pay. Also, hunters, ask them about cellular trail cams for just $10 a month. 419 Blowing Rock Boulevard in Lenoir, or CarolinaWest.com. For the visitors from North Gaston High School, Keldon Williams. You heard me talk about him in the pregame show. You just heard Jeff mention him as a captain. He is going to be all over the field tonight, more than likely playing both ways. He leads nearly every important non-quarterback statistical category for the Wildcats. They're going to put him in different locations, make South Caldwell think, move him around. North Gaston needs to make South Caldwell be quick on offense. Do not let South Caldwell get in a pattern, get in a routine, get in some form or fashion of drives with regularity. For South Caldwell, they got to be like Stella. They got to get their groove back, get their belief back. They got to find number 3 and stop them. They need to be balanced and unpredictable, and you do that by staying on schedule. If you're South Caldwell, you don't want to be behind the chains. You want to have the whole playbook at your disposal, and we didn't know it before tonight's game, but with Parker Cobb out at starting center, keep an eye on the center quarterback exchange. Maybe the Spartans go under center a little bit more than they normally would. We'll find out. That's your Carolina West Wireless keys to the game.
It's Come Cheer With Me night tonight, as well as Little League football night, so lots of children out on the field tonight. Good job to Jason Childrens and the Spartan Regiment tonight. They're out in their full uniforms tonight. They're looking good. They're ready for parade day coming up pretty soon. We got our first score coming across the CCC and TI scoreboard wire, as they are already 1 quarter in the books. They're in the second quarter. Alexander Central and Statesville tied at 7. Alexander Central trying to make it 2 in a row.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thanks for all our sponsors. That is going to conclude the Blue Moose Coffee Lodge pregame show. Unlike Stanford and Cal, the band is leaving the field, and the teams are preparing to go out and get tonight's critical non-conference matchup underway. Both these teams 1-2, both teams winning in week 1. They've suffered 2 straight defeats. Both teams looking for a shot of confidence and momentum, especially for South Caldwell. They've got a tough team in TC Roberson coming here next week, and then it is a super tough Northwestern 6A, 7A conference slate ahead of South Caldwell. Many of you saw that Watauga quarterback Cade Keller is in the top 10 in the state in passing at the 6A level. So that Watauga team is going to be a load. Freedom also looking like a deep run in the playoffs kind of team. But for tonight, that's for another week. It's North Gaston and South Caldwell. We're almost ready to go.
How can you not get excited for Friday night? 2 1-2 teams, and you're like, ho-hum. But, man, the stadium's packed. We're excited. Here we go.
Left-footed kickoff is coming down and going to bounce and gets past the deep man. Knocked off and finally picked up at the 10, running sideways across the field to the 15, to the 20, 30, 35, out to the 40. The kicker to beat and taken down at the 47-yard line. Eventually, Tanner Barr picked up the football and ran it back 31 yards, 32. No, we'll give him 37. South Caldwell will start at their own 47-yard line, and maybe that's a good omen for the Spartans tonight.
Near disaster for the Spartans, because the first man did not pick up the ball and he kept fumbling around. There were 2 white jerseys around it. They almost had the deep onside kick, but thank goodness for Tanner Barr, and then he just outran everyone. To take you through the call of tonight's game, it's the voice of high school football in the Catawba Valley and a snazzy dresser, Mr. David Jones.
Thank you so much, Jeff Flink. Corbin McGinnis does start the game under center. Double shift to the short side of the field. Handoff over the left side. It's a Highbrighton Builder Supply first down and more into Wildcat territory. Big gain on first down from the South Caldwell 48 all the way down to the North Gaston 32. That's exactly what South Caldwell needed on first down.
Yeah, got a good kickoff return, get a good play on first down, so the Spartans are rolling. You can already tell North Gaston a little bit on their heels right now. We'll see if they make the adjustment as the Spartans have it 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 32-yard line.
I believe that was J.P. Smith on the 19-yard carry on first down. Motion from right to left. Here's the snap, handoff. Smith again over the right side. A lot of white jerseys there. Stand them up, and eventually, good job by Smith to get maybe 2.5 yards, Jeff. He was hit a yard behind the line of scrimmage and did a good job keeping his feet moving just to get something forward progress out of that.
Keldon Williams was the first one there, got the initial contact, and then the cavalry came, stopped him for a 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Out of that area, please.
10:47, clock rolling, first quarter. South Caldwell going right to left across your radio dial. Corbin McGinnis with the towel tucked into the back of his pants.
Got that play call in a bit late. They just broke the huddle with 9 seconds to go.
Yeah, he saw it too, did McGinnis, and picked up his pace. Under center with the snap, turns, handoff right up the middle, driving a gap left side on the carry. It's going to be Mason Holler. Short game is going to set up 3rd and medium for the Spartans.
Yeah, I think you're in 4-down territory here. The Spartans don't typically have a field goal kicker, so you've got 2 downs now to pick up the 5 yards, so they're not off pace with this one.
Beautiful night for football here in the Catawba Valley. Beautiful weather, great temperature, good crowd. Glad you're hanging out with us. Double shift from right to left. The ball's on the right hash here in Spartan Stadium, driving toward the scoreboard. Handoff, left side, picking through defenders. Not going to get much as Kyan Oates, the senior running back.
Tackled by Wright.
Don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
No, Josiah Smith, the senior for North Gaston, snuck that one out and stopped him for no gain. May have lost a half a yard on that one. Yeah, on DJ. So that's going to bring up 4th down. So decision time for the Spartans. They'll keep the offense on the field. You'd hate to waste a good field position on that opening kickoff. So let's see what Casey Justice and the Spartans have dialed up here on 4th down.
Ball's on the left hash now. Nose of the ball touching the 28-yard line. Wing formation. McGinnis under center. Drops back, rolls the pocket right. A lot of grass, stops, throws back, middle of the field, overthrew the receiver, wide open, already beyond the sticks, waiting to haul in. The first down reception was Jacob Alton. McGinnis is going to want that one back. Just a little bit too much mustard. I think McGinnis was surprised at how open he was.
Yeah, I think so. He kind of set his feet through a little bit behind the receiver on that one, and you know, that's one of those things on Monday you'll look back on film, too. If he'd have kept rolling, we don't talk about Corbin McGinnis as far as being fleet of feet, but he also maybe could have picked up that first down with his feet because there was nothing on that side. Good job of offensive line blocking by South Caldwell, but no execution on the pass, and here comes North Gaston for their first crack.
9:08 to go. North Gaston gets the ball. Handoff over the right side. Keldon Williams. The ball's loose. It was a gain out to about the 30-yard line. South Caldwell says they have it. And the officials have yet to decide. Look like they're nodding their head in agreement. Second down. Second down. Woo, boy, South Caldwell nearly got one right there.
Yeah, that ball popped up in the air, and evidently one of the North Gaston players able to roll over on it. I thought they were going to point to South Caldwell's side, and couldn't tell who came up with it. It ends up being a good gain on first down for North Gaston. They're going to pick up 6 yards, brings up 2nd and 4.
Yep, Keldon Williams is kind of the do-everything back for them. In the center is Camden Canup. He's the quarterback, 3 yards deep. High snap, brings it down, puts it in the belly of Williams again over the right side, dragging a tackler with him there to make first contact is Peyton King. King did a good job of holding on to that Bronco until he got the full 8 seconds. Going to be just short of the line to make. Gain of 3. It's going to be 3rd and 1. The whole playbook open here for Coach Darrell Wilson.
Yeah, third down. Actually, they're going to go ahead and give it to him. They're going to say first down. So they give him the generous spot on that one. So it'll be a first down, North Gaston.
High snap, pulls down again. Williams stutter steps, gets to the hole, hit hard, bounces off one tackle, now two. Now he's into the open field, 45-40. Down the left sideline he goes, finally taken down in South Caldwell territory at about the 38-yard line.
Williams with the run.
Got to wrap up and tackle on that one. They had him for a gain of none, maybe a gain of 1, and a good job. Give the running back credit there, Williams, as he was just able to keep the legs churning and bouncing off, makes it for a good gain. But
24 yards.
Yeah, you got to be concerned if you're Mark Kirkpatrick in that defense. You got to wrap up and bring him down.
Coach Wilson told us in the Car Source of Lenore coaches interviews that Williams has spent a lot of time in the weight room this year. He's not a big kid. He's only listed at 5'8", 165, but he's quick.
That's generous.
Yeah. Ball on the left hash, trips to the right, stand up tight end to the left. Williams in the pistol behind Canup. Handoff, short side of the field left, makes a cut, gets in and out of the arms of the first defender over there. Making first contact is Mason Holler, but still a good gain on first down for Williams and the Wildcats. Give them 5 yards. Now give them 4, 2nd and 6.
North Gaston 1-2 coming into this matchup. Week 1 against East Gaston 14-7 at home. The last 2 weeks fell to Stuart Kramer 27-34. That's the Stuart Kramer team that they beat last year. North Gaston went 3-7 last year, 1-6 in the Big South 3A. They're a 5A team this year. Enrollment just over 1,000.
Trips on the left side, short side. South Caldwell shows blitz. They bring it. North Gaston picks it up. Canup rolls the pocket left, throws a lame duck down toward the goal line. It's going to be intercepted by South Caldwell up to 5, to the 10, looking for a block to the 15. Angles to the 20, trying to get upfield. Hit hard by Williams, but coming up with the pick for South Caldwell is the quarterback, Corbin McGinnis. back there playing center field, camped out under the can of corn, and got the ball back for the Spartans. Maybe that's the spark that the Spartans defense needed.
Actually, that was number 9, Samuel Barnhart, the senior. You got to learn my sign language, man. I was sitting here trying to give it to you. Number 9, Samuel Barnhart, the senior defensive back, 5'10", 145, came up with it. He took a hard lick, but the Spartans get the first turnover of the game. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Good job that time by Barnhart. It was not a great pass, but Barnhart actually had to fend off. He became the receiver, and the wide receiver for North Gaston, was the defender on that one. You could have called offensive pass interference.
Because when you adopt
We've got
one
an
animal,
injured
you help
Wildcat
many
down
more.
on the far side.
Join
Looks like
the
it's going to be a
rescue
cramped
effect.
situation. That gives us a chance to take a look at the CCC and TI scoreboard. As we told you earlier, Alexander Central Statesville, they got started.
So you gave her the secret to the sauce?
Last update we had, Alexander
there's some things
Statesville tied
can
at 7.
teach.
Yeah,
Dallas
and you know you
up
want to
at
taste
Avery
it.
Tonight. The Titans have an early 7-0 lead
This is how we
on the
HBC.
Avery Vikings.
So we see both of these teams be effective on the ground, and then when they go to the air, bad things happen. We saw South Caldwell be very successful through the air against West Caldwell in week 1. Not as successful since then. Last week against Tuscola, it was the ground game that got South Caldwell in trouble. This week again, it looks like North Gaston been able to gash this Spartans defense a little bit on the ground.
You mentioned Darrell Wilson. He's in his second year as the head coach at North Gaston, 4-9 overall record. He was the former defensive coordinator at Kings Mountain and Crest. He's a 1995 grad of Hunter Huss High School, played his football college days up at Appalachian State University, trying to resurrect this North Gaston squad that, quite frankly, just has not had a lot of success. They opened in 1971, all-time record of 177, 389, and 4. 54 seasons of football down in Dallas, 10 seasons with 10 or more losses, only 2 seasons with 10 or more wins, but they had that magical season back in 2007. That's the last time they actually had a winning season. They were 12-3 that year, lost in the state championship game to West Alamance High School. That was the 3A state championship game back in 2007. So not a lot of history with North Gaston there, but you know from that area, a suburb of Charlotte, they're going to play tough teams. They're going to play the Ashbrooks. They're going to play the South Points, the Hunter Huss, the teams from that area. So you know it's going to, as a 3A school, it's going to be tough sledding. But I said it was a cramp, but they're taking a lot of time with this injured player across the way.
I'll tell you what, we'll give you one more little bit of history because you referenced that 2007 North Gaston team. Tar Heel football fans may remember the name A.J. Blue. He was the quarterback on that North Gaston team. He graduated, spent a year at Hargrave, wound up in Chapel Hill, changed positions, went to running back. Now, he had some knee problems in college. He didn't probably produce what he would have wanted to. His best year was in 2012. He had 433 yards and 9 touchdowns. He did get a tryout with Washington, then the Redskins franchise. He was the first ever North Gaston player to get an NFL tryout. Of course, South Caldwell, proud of big number 69, Landon Dickerson, already got a Super Bowl ring in the league. The North Gaston player is standing up on his feet now, still looking to get a number on the injured Wildcat, but I'm glad to see him up and moving around, although moving gingerly.
Give you another score update. The Greyhounds get their second touchdown of the night. Statesville leads Alexander Central 14-7, 2 minutes and 22 seconds until the half.
I can't tell if it's 11 or 71.
You tell me.
I will tell. So I left the field glasses at home tonight. My wife may be wanting to look for hawks. It's migration season in Lower Creek.
I tell you, the hummingbirds are out too. They're starting to migrate. Make sure you keep your hummingbirds feeders. This segment of Old White Man Football brought to you by David and Jeff. All right, here we go.
So how's your grass looking, Jeff?
Oh, as I have my New Balance on.
All right, back to action. McGinnis, handoff. A-side. A lot of Wildcats there in the A-gap. I mean, 3-4 defenders right in the gap. And South Caldwell noticing the absence of Parker Cobb up front. It'll be second down and probably a generous spot to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 for South Caldwell.
Gage Fallon, the nose guard, 5'9", 235 pounds, gets in there. Also number 50, Zykel Williams, the defensive end. holding the Spartans to a minimum gain. Just 1 yard going to bring up 2nd and 9. Midway through this first quarter, scoreless ball game. South Caldwell turnover on downs on 4th down in North Gaston territory. North Gaston threw an interception, and we're going to have our first penalty flag of the game. Looks like it's probably going to be some movement. Nope, it's going to be a sideline warning against South Caldwell.
Brandon Miller in at center now for South Caldwell, and that was the first time they had gone shotgun. The snap was a little bit high. You just had McGinnis maybe, showing off a 2-inch vertical to go up and get that football. But, yeah, that was my concern, that it was motion. But we'll take the sideline warning if you're a Spartan fan tonight.
Yeah, the sideline, I believe it was going to be on South Caldwell. One of the officials over there on the sideline, I think Casey Justice, he could tell what kind of chewing gum Casey had. Casey was standing right beside him.
Fruit stripe, baby, fruit stripe. Handoff over the right side and tripped up, just making the line of scrimmage for South Caldwell. Kyan Oates again, and after a couple of successful plays on the first drive, South Caldwell all of a sudden finding it tough between the tackles. 5:20 to go in the first quarter, nothing. It's about a 1 yard loss there for Oates on the carry.
Yeah, going to bring up 3rd and long. Spartans 0 for 1, had a 3rd and manageable moments ago. Couldn't get anything out of it. This one's a little bit tougher. 3rd and long, and I think if you're South Caldwell, you got to play it safe. Don't want to put the ball up in the air, have a turnover deep in your own territory. Keep the ball here on the ground, punt it away, and play defense again. That means they're going to pass deep.
Shotgun formation. Here comes the pressure. Getting the pass away and caught at the 25, to the 30, out to the 35, gets away from a tackler to the 40, looking for a block out to the 46-yard line. Jeff Leake playing Nostradamus condoms tonight on the reception. Kendall Freeman, and it's a big gain. It's a High Broughton Building Supply first down.
Like I said, instead of the screen pass, roll somebody out to the flat, dump it off, get the first down, just like I said they should draw it up.
26-yard pitch and catch on the first completion of the night for South Caldwell. It's a High Broughton Building Supply first down, and with 4:35 to go, South Caldwell's got their best field position of the night at their own 46. All the little ones on the track tonight, probably 100 cheerleaders or more in the house as whistles blow in the first down dive play. They intended to give it to Freeman, but the officials say it's a penalty on the visitors.
Yeah, it's going to be a offside as North Gaston lined up in the neutral zone. Our first penalty of the night. 5-yard advantage for the Spartans. 4:25 left to go here in a scoreless first quarter.
Hopefully we won't have any issues tonight in Sawmills like they had last night in Winston-Salem with the food truck catching on fire and smoke coming into the stadium.
We visited the concession stand early. It doesn't look like I think they've got everything fried up and grilled up that they're going to grill. They might fire them back up before the half.
McGinnis, handoff over the right side. They do go back to Freeman. Hitting the hole, bounces it outside. Gain of 7. High Broughton Building Supply first down, and they're in Wildcat territory to the North Gaston 42.
Yeah, good time. Good opportunity that time going between the tackles, picking up that first down, getting a little bit of a push.
Spartan first down.
Clock rolling now with South Caldwell in North Gaston territory. Under 4 minutes to go in a scoreless first quarter. Both teams trading turnovers on their first possession. South Caldwell turned it over on downs. The Spartans intercepted a Camden Canuck pass by Sam Barnhart to get the ball back deep in their own territory. Here's the snap. McGinnis fakes the handoff, boots. He's got a lot of green grass to the 40, to the 35, stiff arms to the 25, carries a defender out of bounds. Jeff Link says this one may come back. It's a High Broughton Building Supply first down. It's a block in the back on South Caldwell. Man, that hurts. That was a big gainer for Corbin McGinnis on a perfectly executed handoff and naked boot into the boundary.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play call. And Corbin McGinnis showing some good wheels there, showing some good speed, but block in the back, and Casey Justice saw it, shook his head as soon as it happened, and that's going to negate the play. So see if this backs it up. It's actually from a spot of foul, so it's only going to end up being a 1-yard loss. It's going to make it 1st and 11. That's the good news for South. The bad news is goodness gracious, you had maybe the best play call of the night, and it's going to go for naught.
And it would have been a 15, 18-ish yard gain, and you would have been right on the corner of the red zone. Brought to you by Fry Regional Medical Center. South Caldwell breaks the huddle, sprints to the line. 1st and 11, ball on the left hash, everybody in tight. Double wing formation. McGinnis out from under center. Handoff right side, hitting the backfield, diving forward on the carry for South Caldwell. Tanner Barr back to the line of scrimmage.
Tackled by Smith.
2nd and 11. nothing doing for South Caldwell. The right side of the line has been very hard for South Caldwell to make hay on tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, it has. It's been good penetration by the Wildcat defense over there. Darrell Wilson, he's a defensive guru. Had some good defensive groups there at Crest and Kings Mountain.
Sam Barnhart flexed wide to the left side, motion in front of the quarterback, rolling on the shotgun, drops back, throws one-handed. Oh, my goodness. I thought for a second Jacob Alton was going to stab that one with a knife out of midair. Hits off the left hand, goes to the turf. It's going to be incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 11 now for South Caldwell. That was a heck of a try, that pass by Alton.
Yeah, and the other one that McGinnis missed on that one was Mason Holler. He had come out of the flat and was standing wide open. He could have caught it and ran for days. South Caldwell's going to have a 3rd down opportunity here. 1 of 2 on 3rd down. They've completed 1 on this drive tonight as the clock rolls inside. Actually, it stopped at 2:27 to go on the incomplete pass. See if the Spartans can get some magic on 3rd down again.
Motion behind McGinnis, drops back, set up the screen, hit, caught. My goodness, North Gaston sniffed that one out immediately, and Mason Holler was folded up like a beach chair. My goodness, incomplete pass, 4th and 10.
Yeah, big number 61, Desmond Simmons. He's 6'2", senior. He's a captain, and he read that perfect, came in and hit the receiver right as the ball got there. It's going to bring up 4th down. South Caldwell reluctantly is going to send out the punt unit. I think this is the right call.
Yes.
Here. You don't want to turn it over on downs. Pin them deep, make them earn it. So on 4th down, the Spartans look to punt.
Now, J.P. Smith is a good punter, but Keldon Williams is a super dangerous return man. Smith stands at his own 47. Now they bring the defense up as if it's going to be a fake. Smith pooch punts it, gets a spiral off. Going to hit inside the 20, take a Spartan bounce, and roll out of bounds. Good punt by J.P. Smith. North Gaston going to take over around their 12 or 13-yard line with 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Nothing. That's about as good as South Caldwell can hope to get out of a punt situation there in North Gaston territory.
Yeah, J.P. has done a good job punting this season and does his job there. You want to try to pin him inside the 20-yard line. He does so, gets him inside the 15, down about the 13-yard line. So 2:15 to go, and it's our second look at the North Gaston offense. They got a lot of kids playing both ways tonight, and so you wonder if you're South Caldwell, can you wear them down a little bit on the offensive and defensive lines?
So North Gaston with the ball just across the 10-yard line. Ball's on the left hash of the wide side of the right side near us. Little pop pass underneath, and South Caldwell is there going nowhere in the backfield. J.P. Smith taking down Jaden Jones, no relation.
Tackled by J.P. Smith.
It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Wildcats.
Just going to throw that out there.
I need to do another Forrest Gump. I had a Forrest Gump reference last week. We are no relation.
That will go down as a completed pass and a loss on the play of 3 yards.
1:44 clock rolling as East Gaston taking their time as well, too. They're not in a big hurry. I think that's what Darrell Wilson's saying. We're going to slow this thing down as well, too.
Should have a good scoreboard tomorrow morning. We'll tell you about that after this play. Trips to the left, and here it blows.
Timeout. The assistant coach over there wants to hear. He called timeout.
Well, we'll tell him. We'll have all the highlights from tonight's game of the week. We'll have scores from around the Catawba Valley. And how about this? After 1 month of high school football games, we'll tell you what we've learned about teams here in Burke and Caldwell County. Coming up at 10 o'clock, looking forward to this guest a lot. He won a state championship back in 2010 with Durham Hillside. He played college quarterback for Georgia Tech and James Madison University. He's now a published author and highly sought-after motivational speaker. Bad Lee will join us on the program tomorrow. Yeah, you thank Dave Thomas for hooking us up with that one. We'll take a look behind and ahead in the week of college football. Of course, we'll talk a little Carolina Panthers. They're terrible again. NASCAR. They are at Bristol, baby, in the 3rd round of the playoffs, so we're looking forward to a little NASCAR. Get a Caldwell Cobras update. I'll squeeze the update in early while we got you on the phone, because you're going to need Sunoco gasoline and 4 Goodyear tires and a round of wedge, because you're on the road tomorrow.
Yeah, heading down to Sandhills tomorrow. Big NJCAA Division III matchup. The number 2 Sandhills Community College Flyers playing host to the Caldwell Cobras. That match starts at 11 o'clock. I'll be heading down to Pinehurst. Maybe squeeze in around the golf as well, too.
Sure you will. New quarterback in the game for North Gaston, takes the shotgun snap. Here comes the South Caldwell defense. Gang tackled him at the 5. It's a sack for the South Caldwell defense, coming out of the pile, smacking his helmet, number 77, Ola Okubanjo on the tackle. And that was number 1 at quarterback, Armando Gomez.
Yeah, well,
Excuse me, Armando Gomez. That was Kashad Wright.
Yeah, I was looking to see if Keldon Williams is still in the game. He's back there at running back, but we did have an injured player, so is this a change in quarterback, or is Camden Canup, he played some at quarterback, is he out? Was that the injured player? We never did get the number across the way.
Snap. Oh, that was a pick 6, and he knew it. My goodness, on the pass. Holy cow, yeah. Tanner Barr was preparing his celebration. A little swing pass out in the flat.
The coaches upstairs from us, they knew it too. But you could hear it, you could see it was coming, and he did everything to catch the football and walk into the end zone. But a good job by the South Caldwell defense. They forced a 3-and-out deep in their own territory. Punting is winning. It pays off.
Yes.
I know when I used to have the PlayStation and used to play the NCAA game, I never punted. That's why I was never a good football coach. But that was a smart move to punt the ball away, pin them deep. You get a couple of stops here, and now you got a chance to get the ball back in good territory.
South Caldwell gets the -6 on this drive for North Gaston. The punt barely gets away. It's going to trickle out and die at about the 38.5-yard line. It's going to be about a 30-yard punt at South Caldwell now with just 32 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Good football game so far. Justin Carlton back at network control, wondering when we're going to get to run a commercial. These two teams hadn't gotten in the end zone yet, but South Caldwell will take over after the punt. A good job by the South Caldwell defense. Good job by the South Caldwell coaching staff making adjustments after that first drive by North Gaston.
Yeah, they were gashing them, but they made some good adjustments there with switching quarterback by North Gaston and just couldn't get anything going. As Kashad Wright, though, he's a senior listed as a senior quarterback and just couldn't get anything going.
Starting at the North Gaston 38, McGinnis under center, turns, handoff, met in the hole, bouncing outside, gets back to the line of scrimmage, puts his shoulder down and plunges forward. Mason Holler.
South's got it back.
Holler was just popped in the A-gap, played side, and was able to bounce off of it, get outside, and make a little chicken salad out of chicken feathers. Gain of 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7 with 10 seconds to go. Probably the final play of the first quarter. And by the body language of the South Caldwell huddle, that is what it will be. The officials will wave the teams off the field, and we'll take a 60-second timeout at the end of one in Sawmills. North Gaston nothing, South Caldwell nothing. You're listening to high school football on Kicks 103.3.
Again, a big thank you to Fry Regional Medical Center for supporting our student athletes. Their sports medicine experts are here every game, preventing injuries, responding quickly, and delivering professional care when it counts. Thank you, Fry Regional Sports Medicine.
Justin Carlton back at network control. Jeff Link alongside through 1-0. South Caldwell with 58 total yards of offense in the first quarter. 32 yards passing, 26 yards rushing. North Gaston with just 32 yards. Total offense, South Caldwell with the ball at the North Gaston 36, 2nd and 7.
CCC and TI scoreboard update real quick. McDowell having no trouble at all with Avery. They lead 20-0 midway through the first quarter.
Reverse handoff, and the ball is loose on the turf. It's going to be a big loss, but South Caldwell's Gunnar Farrell going to be able to dive on it, but it's going to be a loss of about 8 yards all the way back to the 45. A little trickeration didn't work out. You're listening to high school football on Kicks 103.3, WKVS-FM, Lenore, Hickory, Morganton.
And another quick score update for you. Freedom on the scoreboard up in South Asheville tonight. They lead 7-0 over TC Roberson as we get our first check-in from friend of the program, Chad Mullis. His Georgia Bulldogs think they play tomorrow, don't they?
They
got a game tomorrow, maybe.
Put them on upset alert with the former App State quarterback.
No, Kirby's using that.
Motion behind McGinnis, stays in the pocket, takes a big hit, releases it. It's caught at the 40, out to the 35, down to the 30, and it's going to be Alton on the reception. I think he's about a yard and a half short, but good job by McGinnis connecting.
Sophomore looked good catching that and getting yards after contact, David.
He did, and did a good job, first of all, looking it in. He needed 18 yards, picked up about 15 on that one.
Going to bring up 4th and about 2. Spartans keep the offense out on the field. I think good choice here with it, 4th and 2 from the 30-yard line.
At the North Gaston 30, they need about the 28. Balls on the right hash. Wing formation for McGinnis under center. Stand up tight end to the left. Handoff right side. Holler. First down. High Brighton Building Supply across the 25 to the 24. A gain of about 6, and the Spartans get a fresh set of downs.
South Caldwell keeping it simple there between the tackles. Pick up that first down. Casey Justice in his 5th year as the South Caldwell head coach, 19-24. Spartans won week 1 easily against West Caldwell. Only scored 6 points in each of the last 2 games. Got shut out 62-6 against High Brighton, 42-6 against Tuscola.
McGinnis calls his own number over the right side following the blocking of Big Jack Johnson, all 5'10", $180. And it's a good gain all the way down inside the red zone. Brought to you by Fry Regional Medical Center, a Life Point Center Hospital. And it's 2nd and 1.
Spartans depending on the legs of McGinnis. We've talked about his arm, but he's getting it done on the ground tonight. You talked about a balanced attack, but kind of using him as a dual-threat quarterback tonight.
Alton now goes from right to left. Here's the snap under center, handoff over the left side, angling toward the 10, hit, spinning out of the tackle. Good job staying upright and vertical was J.P. Smith. He gets the High Brighton Builder Supply first down.
Good job by Smith. Good job by the offensive line getting a good block there. If there's anything you could be critical of, you'd love to see J.P. Smith maybe just turn that upfield. He is kind of running at an angle towards the end zone. He'd turned it up, probably could have got 4 or 5 more yards, but nonetheless, Spartans will take it. They're moving right now. 1st and 10. Ball's going to be placed on the 11-yard line, so the Spartans could get a first down inside the goal line.
Miller over the ball, McGinnis under center. Snap, turn, handoff over the right side, across the 10, down around the 5, still driving the pile toward the goal line is Tanner Barr. He stopped at about the 5, a gain of 6. It's going to be 2nd and 4. Like you said, Jeff, they can get a first down without scoring here. We're already under 9 minutes to go. This drive already over 3 minutes old for the Spartans.
Well, right now the offensive line getting a good push. A couple of those kids from North Gaston having to play both ways. They're got their hands on their hips right now. Got to keep pushing it. Don't get cute here. Just keep pushing it up the middle.
Here's the snap, turn, handoff. Mason Holler over the right, bounces off of 1 tackle, 2, keeps the legs driving, can't get in. He stopped at the 3, very close to the High Brighton Building Supply first down. I think it's going to be 3rd and inches.
South Caldwell not much success on 3rd down tonight. They are 1 of 4, but this one should be pretty easy to get. Actually, they may measure this one. Nope, they're not. They're going to say it's 3rd and about a yard and a half. Catching you up on the CCC and TI scoreboard, St. Stephen's leads North Iredale 21-0. Hickory leads Newton Conover 14-0.
Handoff turn. Mason Holler over the left side. A gap is going to be close, and he's going to be stopped just shy of the goal line. That's the bad news. The good news is the 4-yard carry gives South Caldwell a High Brighton Builder Supply first down. It's going to be 1st and goal from about the 1.5.
Corbin McGinnis comes over to get the play call from Casey Justice. Casey stopped him about halfway and said, we're going to do it again.
Run it again. Holler does come out of the game.
Yeah, different running back, but same formation.
Kendall Freeman in the backfield, and it's going to be a quarterback sneak for Corbin McGinnis, and big number 3 gets in. First score of the game, 7:30 to go before halftime. South Caldwell drills first blood. It's 6-0 Spartans.
They didn't get cute. They didn't try to outcoach themselves. They just kept it simple. They were getting a good push on the defensive line was South Caldwell, and just between the tackles the last part of that drive. Credit a big catch, though, on that 3rd down completion where Jacob Alton came in, made that big catch, made it a manageable 4th down. That was the play of of the drive, I think, to keep this drive going. Made it fourth and manageable. They were able to pick it up, and South Caldwell into the end zone first.
South Caldwell leaves the offense on the field. McGinnis with the snap, turns, handoff over the left side into the end zone with ease. No problem, Tanner Barr. The 2-point conversion is good. South Caldwell leads North Gaston 8-0, 7:30 to go in the first half. You're listening to high school football on Kicks 103.3.
Ready to catch the vibe? Switch to Bark Mobile and level up with this insane deal. Free smartphones, free service, and a $50 gift card. Yeah, that's over $300 worth of real good vibes with select unlimited plans. But real talk, this deal's here for a good time, not a long time. Come through to your Bark Mobile store and walk out with your new phone today. Certain restrictions apply. Visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions or see stores for details. Offer ends October 31st, 2025.
Justin Carlton back at network control. Jeff Link alongside. I'm David Jones. Good-looking drive for South Caldwell. Corbin McGinnis 1 for 1 through the air for 15 yards. Other than the loss of 8 on the would-be kind of trick play, South Caldwell had positive yards on every other play. 9 plays, 62 yards, 5:02 off the clock. You send them into Hostile Diesel's Performance. Is this Diesel Performance specialty shop in Caldwell County. They fix any make or model. You can find them at 3062 Eli Lane in Hudson. You can check them out right there. Hostile Diesel's Performance. They drive diesel. J.P. Smith with the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. South Caldwell will kick from left to right across your radio dial. It's a low kick. It rolls across the turf, bounces. It's a live ball. It's going to be loose and finally picked up by North Gaston at the 23. Hit and decleated as a flag comes in. Hunter Mullinax absolutely unloaded on the North Gaston ball carrier. We'll see what the flag is. What a terrific hit by Mullinax.
Don't know if that's going to go against South or North Gaston, but the South Caldwell player Tanner Barr was giving the palms up, but I didn't do anything. Look, so that makes me think that it's going to be against South Caldwell. And that's a shame because they were going to have them pinned deep. But actually now I think they are maybe blocking the back. Stephen Bullis, the head official, they're talking it over. The ball's going to be spotted right now on the 15. Let's see what they do as they're telling them to back up. So, yeah, I think this is going to go against North Gaston. It's going to be half the distance. So, yeah, blocking the back, half the distance, 7.5 yard. If you're scoring at home, congratulations. That's going to make it 1st and 10 from the 7.5 yard line.
South Caldwell with 81 yards rushing, 47 yards passing in this one. And North Gaston with 7:25 to go will be at their own 4. It is the different quarterback in the game. They run the toss sweep over the right side. That's their main player. That's Keldon Williams. And Keyshawn Wright going to have to climb the ladder. He's not as tall as Camden Knupp was. So it's going to be no gain for the Wildcats.
Well, that's the situation. Whoever the injured Wildcat was, they just carted him off on a stretcher, putting him in the ambulance to take him. So, thoughts and prayers to him. But I think that might have been Camden because we've not seen him back into the ball game. Camden Knupp. He's not been back in, and that spells trouble. But right now, you can see the South Caldwell defense, a lot of confidence right now. They're swarming to the football, and as you said, they need to get their groove back. They act like they're getting their groove back.
Absolutely. Keyshawn Wright, much shorter at 5'10". This snap hits him in the numbers. Hands off, big hole up the middle, spinning out of tackles. This could be trouble. North Gaston, it's a Highbrighton Building Supply first down. My goodness, Keldon Williams all on his own between the tackles. Gain of about 13 on the carry.
It's almost 14. His situation. You know that Williams is the only guy that can hurt you. Do you put a spy on him wherever he's going and just try to contain him? And that's easier said than done. But it looks like right now that's all that North Gaston has is Williams.
Actually give him 19 yards on the carry, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 19. South Caldwell in man defense, single high safety is Barnhart playing center field at his own, at the Wildcat 29. Here's the snap. Handoff again. Williams, this time he's hit, able to keep his feet chopping, gets positive yards. About to the 20.5. We'll give him 2 on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I ran into former South Caldwell and Alexander Central football coach Butch Carter this week, and Butch had said, I've got a pretty good coaching tree. I got guys that are coaching at different places, and he said they all let me look at their huddle films. He said they're all asking me for advice. He said it's pretty simple. Give the ball to your best player until he gets tired. Then give it to your second best player, and when he gets tired, hopefully your best player has recuperated enough that you can give it back to him.
We do.
That's what North Gaston's doing right now.
More
They're giving it to their best player.
Yes, more complicated than we need to be. Dropping back to throw on first down, out in the right flat in front of the North Gaston bench. The pitch and catch is completed to Roderick Brown. It's a High Broughton Builder Supply first down. Needed 8. Picked up about 11 on the throw. It's going to be a High Broughton Building Supply first down. And it's not really silky smooth, but North Gaston getting a couple of sets of downs. They got their own 32.
Yeah, out of the shadow of their own end zone. I said that South Caldwell defense was starting to fly around the football a little bit. Credit North Gaston putting together a couple good plays here.
South Caldwell with the run blitz. They run by Williams in the backfield. Able to contain him, though, with a little backside help out to the 35. Gain of about 3. 2nd and 7 for North Gaston. South Caldwell leading 8-0. 4:39 to go before halftime. Much more competitive game than the last 2 weeks for South Caldwell. And we know the Spartans fans are happy about that.
Yeah, good crowd here tonight. We mentioned it's come cheer with us night to night, so a lot of little cheerleaders down there. A couple of the rec football teams here tonight, but the grandstand, I'd say it's almost as big as the crowd we had for West Caldwell.
Very full.
Yeah, across the way. Not a lot from North Gaston making the trip up 321 tonight.
Well, they're all back home listening at GoFoothills.com, or maybe they're parked in the Sonic parking lot there in Maiden listening. Dropping back, rolling. Here comes the pressure. He's going to be taken down for the sack. Peyton King with the big loss on Keyshawn Wright. The line of scrimmage was the North Gaston 36. They take him all the way back to the 28. Going to be an 8-yard loss on the sack.
Yeah, good job that time by King to get in there. And the senior linebacker, 6 foot, 160 pounds. Able to wrap him up and take him down. Third down, North Gaston 0 for 1 on third downs tonight.
Second sack of the night for South Caldwell. King with that one on this drive. Ola Okabanjo with the first sack. And for Casey
That's your favorite name to say this
it is tonight. So far tonight. I hope he can play bluegrass with a name like Okabanjo.
We're going to have our second timeout actually called by North Gaston, so our second timeout of the night. We've mentioned a couple times, but it's come cheer with us night tonight. As you said, there's about 100 teal shirts down there tonight. There's little kids cheering, and you got the South Caldwell cheerleaders down there, and that's either going to make or break some of these cheerleaders who are thinking about being teachers, because they're having to babysit down there tonight, and it is like corralling kittens now. So they're either going to go home tonight and say, oh, my gosh, I love that. I want to do that for my career, or they're going to say, I'm exhausted, and I never want to see another little kid the rest of my life. That's going to make or break some future teachers tonight.
I want to do something easy, like dig ditches or build skyscrapers or maybe work in the prison system. We got to do something a little bit less.
Find peace in the Middle East. Yeah, that'd be easier than corralling these kids here tonight.
Justin Carlton coming up in just a few minutes on the Bobcat of Lenora halftime show. Kind of an abbreviated schedule tonight, this week and next week. Lots of bye weeks as teams wrap up their non-conference portion of their schedule and get ready for conference play. So stick around for Justin Carlton and the Bobcat of Lenora halftime show coming up in 3 minutes, 21 seconds of game time.
CCC and TI scoreboard. McDowell having no trouble at all up at Avery tonight. They're leading 26-0 at the end of the first quarter. A little college football going on tonight. Dion finds his Colorado bus down 10-0 to Houston.
Wright drops back, shotgun snap, jailhouse blitz up the middle. He gets away, scrambling, pulls it down, going to tuck and run. Out to the 30, shucks and jives, and absolutely clocked. My goodness. Again, it's Peyton King. He went to High Broughton Building Supply, got the whole truck of lumber, and laid it. I don't know how Keyshawn Wright got up after that.
Well, it was a good run by Wright. It goes for almost double-digit gains. It's going to make it fourth and manageable, but I'm sure that right now Keyshawn Wright's saying, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, because I took a big hit on that, and they are going to bring the punt team on, much to discuss of Keldon Williams as he kind of waves his hands to the sideline. So you got Williams back there as the up man on that punt team. You got to watch. They might snap it to him and try and do a fake here. They won't. They'll snap it back, and the punt is going to get away. It's not a good one. It's going to bounce at about the 45, take a North Gaston bounce, and roll down to about the 38-yard line. Actually, check it, 33-yard line of South Caldwell. So it wasn't a great punt, but it gets the favorable bounce for the Wildcats. And South Caldwell, with 2:19 and 3 timeouts to go, they'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. South Caldwell got the ball to start the game. North Gaston deferred, so South Caldwell will try to go quickly here, get a score before the half.
45 yards of total offense for North Gaston on that drive. 1-for-1 passing for 12 yards, 33 net on the ground, but South Caldwell forces a punt in the end. Spartans have it at their own 32. Ball middle of the field, going left to right. McGinnis stops back, drops a little pop pass over the middle, caught by Alton. 40, 45, 50, into North Gaston territory, 40. Trying to outrun the defense to the 30, knocked down there. It's a big gain. McGinnis to Alton, and it's a field flipper for the Spartans and a Highbrighton Building Supply first down.
The pocket collapsed, and McGinnis, he felt it. He stepped up in there. He climbed it, able to set his feet, throw, had all sorts of traffic around him. There were so many around him that once he hit his receiver, it was green grass, white stripes. As you said, a field flipper.
39 yards on the pitch and catch. South Caldwell going tempo. On the right hash, McGinnis under center. Hands off left side, stepping out of a tackle. Now getting down toward the 25-yard line. Still driving the legs forward is Kyan Oates on the carry. Good first down carry for the Spartans. 1:48 to go, clock rolling. Gain of about 7 on the carry.
Casey Justice holding on to those 3 timeouts. I was sitting up here signaling go ahead with the timeout, but he's going to hold on to it. He likes what his team's doing. They're going to keep it rolling.
Big lineman substitution in the game. Ben Benfield comes in now. McGinnis drops back. Handoff. Here is the sack, and he's going to be dragged. No, he gets away and finally taken down. Coming in to get the sack for North Gaston is Gage Phelan. That one just kind of busted play all over it. Pressure up both of the A-gaps, and it's going to be a loss on the play. And Casey Justice does take one of those timeouts now with $1:21 to go before halftime. South Caldwell with the ball and the lead. About a 4-yard sack. McGinnis got some of that back just by sheer athleticism.
Yeah, the ball's going to be placed at, looks like about the 27-yard line. 3rd and 8 Spartans tonight. 2 of 5 on 3rd down, and got to think that this is 4-down territory.
Oh, yes.
Here for South Caldwell, so Casey Justice might be calling 2 plays in the huddle here, depending on what happens on that first play. We mentioned Tennessee and Georgia. South Carolina, Vanderbilt. That's a sneaky good game tomorrow. Good one in the ACC, Georgia Tech, Clemson.
I got thoughts on that one. Hey, NC State 1-0 in the league.
I tell you what, 3-0.
You better win them now because the back half of that, well, it gets tougher Saturday against Duke, but the back half of that schedule.
Well, if you're a State fan, and I'm not throwing shade, if you're a State fan, that was a game that traditionally NC State loses last night. And they were able to just bounce back. They got down. They were able to bounce back and survived the food truck fire and able to get that victory at Winston-Salem last night. That's a good Winston-Salem team, or Wake Forest team down in Winston-Salem. I'll get it right in a second. My apologies.
Damon Claiborne, great running back.
Yeah, to all the Demon Deacon fans listening.
Orbit motion behind McGinnis, rolls right, looking to pass, hit as he throws, incomplete. I tell you what, this North Gaston defense is getting a lot of penetration. That time, McGinnis wasn't able to climb the pocket, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Stops the clock with 1:17 to go, so North Gaston still with time. If South can't get this, they need a good 7.5 yards here on 4th down.
Yeah, only 1 timeout, though, left for North Gaston. And talking about that pressure coming up the middle, good time to call a little screen pass maybe. Get somebody out in the flat.
Let's see what Casey Justice and staff dials up. The maroon-clad Spartans come to the line. 1:17 to go. Ball's on the left hash. Trips to the right. Here's the snap. Has time. Cocks a right arm. Throws toward the end zone. Overthrows everybody. Incomplete at the 1. Looking downfield for Tanner Barr. A little bit of confusion on that play. Barr didn't look like he knew he was supposed to go to the pylon, or McGinnis misunderstood that he was going to break it off.
Yeah, I think miscommunication on the route, but I also think that time a good adjustment by North Gaston. I think they were maybe expecting a screen pass as well, too. They didn't bring much pressure that time, dropped some guys back in coverage. So maybe that helped. But now North Gaston with the football. Minute 12 to go before the half. They got one timeout to work with.
North Gaston at the 26-yard line of South Caldwell. At their own 26. Snap right, going to be hit in the backfield and slung down. J.P. Smith. That was a design run play. Tackle for loss.
Right with the quarterback.
We're under 1 minute to go in the first quarter.
Second down.
Loss of a few inches will actually give them a full yard loss. 2nd and 11.
North Gaston going to not opt to use the timeout there, so they may just be trying to run this clock down as much as they can, go into the half with the 1-score deficit.
Shotgun for right, scrambles left, back in middle of the field, throws incomplete, looking for Rylan Barber, the tight end.
Now they're going to say that was complete.
Oh, wow, he got down, got his hands under it. Wow, good catch by Barber. Big gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 6. Brent Tomberlin said the same thing on the PA that I did down here. Incomplete.
Well,
no way.
North Gaston's got one timeout left, and they could run this out. They're in no hurry right now, and I don't even know why you're going to snap it here. I think they're just going to take it and go into the half.
They don't have to snap it.
They're not looking like
8 seconds on the game clock, 13 on the play clock. Unless they're going to run a Hail Mary at the buzzer. 3, 2, 1. And North Gaston will not snap the football. A curious way to end the first half in Sawmills, but Spartan fans are pretty happy after the last 2 weeks. South Caldwell on top at the break. The Spartans lead the Wildcats 8-0. That brings the first half to a close. It's time for the Bobcat of Lenore halftime show. Justin Carton will anchor it back at Network Control. He'll get you caught up on all the scores from around the valley. Then we'll come back to Spartan Stadium, look back at the first half, try to scratch together a few stats. Tell you what might be coming up next in the next 24 minutes of football. It's
Next up, our marching band is set up and ready to go. Tonight they'll be performing the first two selections from their 2025 field show entitled Angels and Demons. Selections for this year's show include works by Frank Ticelli, Donna Taggart, and the rock band Dream Theater. Drum majors for the band are Skylar Bennell, Madison Childers, and Bailey Smith. Soloists tonight include Bailey Smith, Jana Dellinger, Brianna Hebner, Ava Duncan, and Chloe Eaker. Band president this year is Carly Hewitt, and band vice president is Yannette Torres. Ladies and gentlemen, performing Angels and Demons, please welcome to the field the South Caldwell Spartan Regiment. Justin Croughton back at network control. Jeff Link alongside. I'm David Jones. Welcome back into the Bobcat of Lenore halftime show. South Caldwell leading North Gaston 8-0 at the half. A quick look through some of the first half stats. First for North Gaston, 3 for 5 passing for 15 yards, 67 yards rushing on 12 carries, a respectable 5.6 yards per carry, 82 total first half yards for the Wildcats. For South Caldwell, Corbin McGinnis 6 for 8 through the air for 90 yards, 15 yards per completion, 11.25 yards per attempt. On the ground, South Caldwell was 62 rushing yards on 18 carries, 3.4 yards per attempt, 152 total yards for South Caldwell in the first half for just 82 for North Gaston. So the Spartans basically doubling them up on the ground. Big plays in the first half for South Caldwell. Just the one touchdown, a rushing touchdown on a quarterback sneak by Corbin McGinnis. 2 big sacks by Peyton King and Ola Okabanjo. The interception by Sam Barnhart. North Gaston did get the 1 sack, Gage Phelan. Jeff, for me, I guess the biggest thing that we've witnessed in the first half for North Gaston, apparently Camden Canup was the player injured earlier in this game, the starting quarterback, and Keyshawn Wright has to come on in relief. So can South Caldwell take advantage of a less experienced quarterback in the second half? And for me, if I'm playing coach in the press box, which is the second easiest place to play coach right after fan in the stands, South Caldwell's going to have to block it up front a little bit. They're not opening up a lot of run lanes, and what Corbin McGinnis has been able to throw tonight has pretty much been Corbin McGinnis getting it. So that O-line probably getting a talking to right now in the locker room.
Yeah, but defensively, I thought South Caldwell's played well tonight, and you know that they've got that big home run hitter in number 3, Kelton Williams. You got to know where he's at, the senior running back, 165 pounds, and he's shifty. But if you can keep him contained, keep him from breaking off a big long run, and keep him in front of you, I think good things can happen for this South Caldwell defense in the second half. As you said, the loss of that quarterback for North Gaston, number 10, Camden Canup, and not to take anything away from Kashad Wright, but it's just a different dynamic there. And he's got some flashes where he might beat you on a quarterback draw or a quarterback keeper, but or if passing lanes break down, can take off on the ground. But right now, I think for your South Caldwell, just keep your defense simple, keep everybody in front of you. You should be okay for the rest of the night. Taking a look at a couple of other little statistics along the way, North Gaston 0 for 3 on third down conversions tonight. They do have the only turnover of the game. 2 penalties against North Gaston tonight. They went for 12.5 yards. South Caldwell not getting it done on third down tonight. 2 of 6 from third down. Only 1 of 3 from third down. That big one, though, is a good pass by Corbin McGinnis to number 15, Jacob Alton. Actually, that was on third down that set up a 4th and 2. South Caldwell picked it up on the ground on that 4th and 2 play, but getting 1 out of 3 tonight on 4th downs. No turnovers for the South Caldwell Spartans, and only 1 penalty for 10 yards, a holding play that negated a good run by Corbin McGinnis there in the first quarter. But I think if you're Casey Justice, you said the blocking has got to improve. But when you look at the 2 big stats there, they've taken care of the ball.
Yep.
No turnovers, only 1 penalty tonight. You got to be happy with that. North Gaston gets the ball to start the second half here. So I feel like South Caldwell in control of this football game. Obviously, you would feel more comfortable if you could get 2 scores on them. But you get a 3 and an out or get that football back early here in the third quarter, put together another long drive. We were talking in the break just how quickly this first half went. This is almost old school South Caldwell football where they're going to depend on the running game and try to ground and pound. And I felt like South Caldwell so far tonight has been the more physical football team, and if that continues second half, the Spartans will even their record at 2-2.
Yeah, if you're listening to this game at home and you're not here tonight, you probably feel like you should be up by more than 8-0 because South Caldwell has controlled the time of possession. They've doubled the offensive output of North Gaston, and yet you look at the scoreboard and it's only an 8-0 game. So if North Gaston comes out of the second half and is able to put something together and put points on the board, it's a whole new football game at that point. So it'll be interesting to see how South Caldwell responds coming out of the locker room. What I would like to see from the South Caldwell defense especially, I would like to see wide eyes, dilated pupils, ears pinned back, teeth showing, full-on downhill. We want to take North Gaston out of this game ASAP because North Gaston has shown the ability to get penetration up front and disrupt the South Caldwell offense. So maybe a defensive score, maybe it's
almost had one. Had a pick 6 opportunity.
Yeah, that was Tanner Barr that's going to not want to see that one on film till Monday morning. But maybe a block kick, a scoop and score, a pick 6. You would like to see South Caldwell maybe put together a score in some way like that. But yeah, I would like to see a lot of aggression between the whistles out of South Caldwell and really try to come out and put their foot on the throat of this North Gaston team. This is a 1-2 team that hasn't won since week 1. I mean, they're probably feeling pretty good in the locker room right now. They're going, guys, we're right in this. We just need one play. We saw we can move the ball. We just got to put something in the end zone. So I would like to see South Caldwell come out, and try to take the life out of North Gaston a little bit and really show some good, clean aggression.
If you're listening from home, like our good friend Danny Miller, thank you for tuning in tonight. Coming up at the end of the game, we will certainly be giving away some hardware. We will have our Western Piedmont Community College player of the game. We will also have our Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy play of the game. That's coming up at the conclusion of tonight's game. You can catch our post-game show on Facebook. By the way, CD Blitz, the scoreboard page, we will go live. You can see mine and David Jones' ugly mugs as we bring you the post-game show. Also, be sure to tune in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. right here on Kicks 103.3. It's the scoreboard. David Jones, Jeff Link, Justin Carlton. We will give you highlights of tonight's game. Right now, there's not a lot of highlights, so it might be
a short highlight package.
Yeah,
so far.
And then we don't have a lot of games going on around the area, but we'll get you caught up with all the scores from around the area. And as David said earlier, looking forward to this segment tomorrow. We're a month into the high school season. Conference play begins for the Western Piedmont 3A, 4A.
Yep.
The Northwestern 6A, 7A, they still have another week of non-conference games next week that they'll get into conference play in 2 weeks. So we're kind of at that mile marker post, not quite to the halfway point of the season, but we're there getting ready. The preseason, if you will, is over. We're getting ready to get into the conference slate. So we'll take a temperature of all the teams in Caldwell and Burke County. We might dip our toe into the sand or into the water of Catawba County and get you up to date with those teams there. But looking forward to that tomorrow as well. And then a great guest coming up at 10 o'clock, former James Madison player Bad Lee will be joining us to talk a little bit about his endeavors as far as motivational speaking. He'll talk a little bit about the Dukes. They gave Louisville all they wanted last week up in what is Louisville's nickname as far as the city?
It's the Derby City.
The Derby City. That's right.
City. Yeah, Bad Lee won a state championship for Hillside High School in Durham back in 2010. Went to Georgia Tech first, played in the ACC, transferred to James Madison. And I don't know how many folks remember this, but I'm going to ask him about this tomorrow. SMU, before they were an ACC member, they paid James Madison a whole bunch of money to come to Dallas. SMU bought $50,000 worth of fireworks to shoot off. And James Madison scored a touchdown with 27 seconds left to beat SMU 48-45 in Dallas, and they had to shoot the fireworks off as about 22,000 people that day left Gerald R. Ford Stadium in disgust. So that was a big win for Vadley. We'll talk about that and more tomorrow morning on the scoreboard. We'll take a time out, come back, and we will drop the dozer blade on the Bobcat of Lenore halftime show. Right now, South Caldwell is leading North Gaston at the intermission 8-0. Second half coming up next on Kicks 103.3. Go to Thank you so much, Justin Carlin and Big Daddy Dave. We are dropping the blade on the Bobcat of Lenore halftime show. They've got the equipment and expertise you need to tackle every job, from new sales to reliable service and parts. Bobcat of Lenore, your equipment experts in getting the job done right. 555 Wilkesboro Boulevard in Lenore. Jeff Link, as the teams are back on the field going through their final warm-ups to get ready for the second half, we're about 2 minutes away from kickoff. If you're South Caldwell, you're in good shape. You'd like to be in better shape. You'd like to see a 3-and-out, get the ball back, put something together, and I think maybe the key to that, it's kind of a tightrope right here. You've got a backup quarterback in the game, but clearly he's a different kind of quarterback. Kashad Wright, 5'10", $165, way different than Camden Canuck. His weight and height's not listed, but he was a taller, drop back in the pocket kind of guy.
He was Corbin McGinnis.
He was Corbin McGinnis. So if you're South Caldwell, I think you want to bring pressure while not giving up the big play. Am I asking too much of the South Caldwell defense?
Yeah, you got to make sure the middle, because he could take off in a broken play and go up the middle. The running quarterback is what you worry about right now, having to defend that. But you got to keep number 3, Williams, know where he's at all time. I said in that first half, maybe you want to put a spy on him and know where he's at all times. But, yeah, don't let the quarterback beat you with his feet. Let him beat you with your arm, because I don't think he's got the arm to do it. But if South Caldwell, I think this third quarter is very important. If they can get a score here, go up 2 scores, I think the game pressure really gets on North Gaston. At that point, they'll fold like a 10. But if you're North Gaston, it's like you said, hey, guys, we're in it. You know, we're down 8 right now. North Gaston, you look, both of these teams are at 1 and 2. North Gaston has a little bit more experience in tight game situations. You look at week 1, the victory over East Gaston, 14-7. Week 2, the loss to Stuart Kramer, 34-27. So last week got away from them a little bit, 27-0 to Concord. But, you know, I don't think there's any panic right now about Darrell Wilson and his team. Hey, guys, we've been here. We've been in tight games. Flip side of that, South Caldwell, they've not been in a tight game this season. It was over at halftime, all 3 games they were in. One of them they were on the winning side off, 2 of them they were on the losing side off. So it's going to be a little tight here in this third quarter. And it's an easy thing to say, easy cliche, but whoever wins the third quarter may win this football game.
Corbin McGinnis, 23 for 49 passing, 351 yards. That's $117 per game. He's already setting on 90 here in the second half. Be interesting to see how often South Caldwell goes to the air with the patchwork offensive line. Here's the run-up and the boot by J.P. Smith. Onside kick is going to hit and take a dogleg kick through the legs of the North Gaston up man, but eventually rolling out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. I don't think there's a penalty on that play because, A, it touched a North Gaston defender or receiver, and then it went out of bounds on the South Caldwell side of the 35. But there's the lingering impressions of Butch Carter on the South Caldwell football program, as the onside kick was very well executed by J.P. Smith, just couldn't quite get over there to it.
A lot of teams on their bye week this week, including the Drone Wildcats. I want to say hello to the head ball coach over in Valdez, Chris Powell. He's listening tonight. Said you and I had faces for radio, so we appreciate that, Chris Powell. And by the way,
one to know one.
By the way, we got to meet Chris's wife last week, and buddy, you outpunted your coverage. That's all I can say.
Well, I just thought it was so sweet that every time she mentioned she was married to Chris, everybody told her they were praying for her. And I just thought that was sweet of everybody in Valdez. 11:57 to go, third quarter. North Gaston with the ball, trailing 8-0 at their own 37-yard line. It is right in at quarterback. Claps his hands, waits for the snap. Everyone stands pat. Here it is. Turn, handoff. Williams breaks it over the left side to the 40, 45, big hole, 50. 45 down the sideline, steps back in, 40. 35, he's going to finally be tackled at the 21. A big gainer, but this one may not stand.
Well, the reason he had a big hole right there is because one of the offensive linemen from North Gaston had a fistful of the maroon jersey. So the holding penalty will be the third penalty of the night against North Gaston, first of the second half. It's going to back them up. We'll see where it was from the spot. It's going to move it back behind the chains. And good play design by North Gaston, but bad execution by that offensive line. Stephen Pullis, the head official, is going to give it a holding call. And I believe they're going to mark it from about the 40-yard line. So that's going to make it 1st and 18. They're going to back it up all the way to the, actually put it on the 31.
It would have been a 34-yard run. So it ends up being a loss. So it's really about a 41-yard penalty when you do all the math. Right claps his hands.
Hard. That's a four-letter word. That's a four-letter word, brother.
Especially live on the air. They go right back to the same place. South Caldwell defense there, but good hard running by Williams. Oh, my goodness. He comes out of the rugby scrum, finally taken down by Mason Holler, but turned a gain of 3 into a gain of about 8. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Well, 2nd and 10 now. They get the penalty yards back by Williams.
On the carry, tackled by Holler.
Kept the legs churning. I'm impressed with Williams. He's the bright spot on this Wildcat team. They got Hunter Huss next week as they open up conference play.
Dogs on Cats next week. Twins to the left, short side of the field, single receiver, wide right, just outside the hashes. Ball's on the left hash. North Gaston going right to left across your radio dial. Turns, throws out in the flat, skips it into the belly.
Got it.
There's no way. That ball skipped.
He got it.
He didn't catch that. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, the side judge.
There's no replay in high school.
That was, I'm telling you, when they see the film tomorrow on that one, that was a nice little one hopper into the wickers. Gain of 3.
Well, They are getting closer to October.
Wow.
Reds game and a half back of the Mets for that last wild card spot. Me and Don Phillips going to have to go at it over the next week. his nets. And
Mess just got swept by the Phillies, too.
Yeah, Reds took 2 out of 3 from the Padres, heading out to Oakland.
Sacramento.
Sacramento, yeah.
There you
go.
go.
Thank you.
Oh, no, the little mess play doesn't work. The quarterback wanted to keep that ball because he saw the South Caldwell defender coming in, and running back Williams decided he wanted to keep it. It winds up being a loss of about 5.
I don't agree with this here. If you're North Gaston, it looks like they're going to go for it. You can punt this ball away. It's a one-possession game, and I know the temptation is there to go for it, but you got to punt the football here. And now they will. They took a ball to the side over it, but goodness gracious, it's a one-possession game, and you're still in it. And I know you don't want to go 3 and out on your first offensive series, but you can't go for it right there.
South Caldwell with Barnhart and Gunnar Farrell back at their own 37-yard line. North Gaston's going to have to use a timeout because they're late getting a man on the field, Gage Barrett.
Yeah, not to criticize Coach Wilson, but you're thinking about going for it. You're indecisive. You finally make the call with 15 seconds, and you're trying to run guys in and out. And you got a lot of guys playing both ways. They just had somebody late running in. So almost that situation, take the penalty, and I believe that's what they did. They ended up taking the penalty, so no timeout. They take the penalty.
That's what they should do. And it's a bad snap, but able to get the left-footed punt off. Fairly decent end-over-end punt. It's going to be muffed by South Caldwell, and the ball's loose. And it's going to be scooped up at the 20-yard line by Zaylen Alexander. A muffed punt by the Spartans is going to set North Gaston up in business at the South Caldwell 23, and what a break for the Wildcats.
Yeah, first turnover of the ball game for South Caldwell. They didn't have any in the first half, and they're going to muff the punt there. So punting ends up working for North Gaston. They took the penalty, the 5-yard penalty, for the substitution infraction, and ends up working out for him. So we'll see if they can take advantage of the first Spartan turnover of the game. 9:08 to go. South Caldwell with the 8-0 lead. North Gaston in business, 1st and 10 from the Spartan 24.
Right in the all-set pistol. Ball's on the left hash, twins to the far side, right side. Handoff, Williams up the middle, big hole, 15, 10, 5, one play, touchdown, and the mistake by South Caldwell. No flags on the play. It's a 23-yard touchdown run. And with 9:02 to go in the third quarter, it's 8-6 South Caldwell.
Yeah, that's where your defense did their job, got 3 and out, and your special teams make a mistake, and you have to go right back out there, probably mentally not into it. You give up the big run right up the middle, and North Gaston will go for 2 and try to tie the ball game up.
Shotgun formation. Williams to the left of Wright. Ball's dead center of the field. Twins left. Wright picking them up, putting them down. Claps. High snap. Fakes. Rolls the pocket. Wright's going to be hit by J.P. Smith. Throws in the end zone to get it away. Good job by Smith bringing the pressure. And the good news for the Spartans is that they remain on top. 9:02 to go in the third. South Caldwell 8, North Gaston 6. You're listening to high school football on Kicks 103.3 and GoFoothills.com.
Truck running rough? When's the last time you had your truck serviced and looked over with a multi-point inspection? Need more power or performance but don't know where to start? Hostile Diesel's Performance and Repair has you covered. Located in Hudson with over 10 years of hands-on experience, specializing in light to medium-duty diesel, Scott Coffey and his crew can get your truck running like new again. Call today at 726-3030. That's 726-3030.
Justin Cronin back at Network Control. Jeff Link alongside. I'm David Jones. Your Hostile Diesels drive summary is a quick one. North Gaston, one play, 23 yards, 6 seconds was all they needed. Of course, this drive really started coming out of the locker room, and a 3 and out turned into a ball just outside of the Fry Regional Medical Center red zone after the Spartans muffed the punt. And North Gaston recovers, and you cannot give a team second opportunities, Jeff. It's what we say coming out of the locker room. Put your foot on the throat, take the life out of them. South Caldwell did that until they didn't. Here's the run up in the boot. It's a knuckleball. It's going to hit and go out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. South will get it at the 35. But, Jeff, your thoughts about that sequence?
Yeah, well, I thought their defense did a good job. South Caldwell getting the 3 and out, and then you just had the muff punt, the mistake by the special teams, and the defense had to run back out there, and good play call by North Gaston. Just go right up the middle with your best player, and he scores easily. But the South Caldwell defense, maybe the most important thing on that series, stopped the 2-point conversion. So they got the 2-point advantage, so no need to panic here. You've got the lead 8-6. Both of these teams don't have a kicker, so you're probably going to go for 2 from now on. But I think if you're South Caldwell here, 9:02, you've controlled the line of scrimmage offensively. See if you can get a good push here, put together maybe a 4 or 5 minute drive and end it with a touchdown. But we're going to have penalty markers, and it looks like South Caldwell is going to be starting from behind the chains. It's going to be the first penalty, actually the second penalty of the night. Nope, it's going to go against North Gaston. They're going to call, hold on, wait. He pointed all side. Yeah, it is going to be all side. North Gaston lined up in the neutral zone. So the second time tonight that's happened to North Gaston. It's their third penalty. Barely 3 minutes into this third quarter as they are all sides. So I'll give South Caldwell a little bit easier time here. Ball rests now on the 40-yard line. 1st and 5 from the 40.
South Caldwell brought to the line by Corbin McGinnis. Wing T formation, ball middle of the field. Turn handoff over the left side, driving forward on the carry near the markers. Kendall Freeman, I think he's got it. It's a High Brighton Building Supply first down for the Spartans on the 1st and 5 carry.
Yeah, he gets that first down rather easy. That was a big penalty that went against North Gaston there. Made it easy for South Caldwell to get going, get some positive momentum now. Corbin McGinnis comes over and gets the play call.
Looking ahead to next Friday night, probably going to make our first schedule flex and head over toward East Rutherford.
That's up to you, brother. I get off at 12. You're the one that we got to work on your work schedule, man.
Handoff to Oates. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and he's dropped there. But yeah, no, I think.
Do we need to park the brown truck on the parkway somewhere?
Well, you might have to pick me up somewhere between here and there, but.
We're supposed to cover AC Reynolds and Freedom, which is going to be a tremendous football game.
I think Freedom's going to handle them. I would say tremendous. I would say good game. Normally that would be a good game. AC Reynolds come up short a few times this year, and Freedom looks like a wagon.
Well, Freedom's struggling tonight with TC Roberson, 7-6 at the half. Last score update that we had. But I'll just put it out there. The Western Foothills, Western Piedmont 3A4A championships next week.
Could be. We'll talk about more after this. Quarterback keeper by McGinnis, rolling around the left side on the naked boot. Throws his shoulder into the defender and lays the defender out. McGinnis putting his life on the line on the 2nd and 10 carry. Picks up about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 6, 7:18 to go in the third quarter. South up 8-6.
But the fans are demanding.
3rd down, South Caldwell.
East Rutherford High Bright is what the fans are demanding.
Well, we figure when Freedom and Watauga plays, that's probably the Northwestern 6A, 7A.
And that's the week after.
That's the week after. We figure when High Brighton and East Rutherford plays, that's the Western Piedmont 3A, 4A. Now, it works out that it's the first game of the year. I mean, there's a lot of football after that in conference play, but the way it's shaping up on paper, it's going to be tough for the loser of that game to come back. So it's out there. Handoff on 3rd and 6, right up the A-gap, and good running, good hard running between the tackles. Mason Holler on the tote, and he is going to be right at it. I think it's going to be 4th and.
No, they got it.
They get it
to him.
Or are they going to measure?
They got it. They gave it to him.
Oh, wow. Got it by the nose of the football into the North Gaston 45-yard line.
Speaking of Freedom and TC Roberson tonight up in Asheville. It's Freedom 14, TC Roberson 14 as they play in the third quarter.
I'm shocked by that score. I wonder
TC Roberson coming to Sawmills next week for Hall of Fame night.
Man.
Good Hall of Fame class. Got Robbie Shelby, well-deserved, going to be in the Hall of Fame. Brent Tarmerlin as well, too.
Dive play. Mason Holler just putting the shoulder pads down and running low. Gain of 10. It's going to be a High Brighton Building Supply first down, back-to-back plays. Holler running hard.
Yeah, good hard running right between the tackles. This is what South Caldwell is doing. They're getting the push on that offensive line, leaning on them, starting to run a little bit of clock. Don't have that full Hall of Fame class in front of me, but Heather Pritchard, that's someone that I helped coach. That was a standout women's basketball, softball, went on to play softball up at Western Carolina. She's in that Hall of Fame class that'll be inducted next week.
McGinnis rolls right. There's some pressure there. Tucks it, and is going to be hit, and he's going to be sacked. That was a passing play, and it's going to be a loss of about 6-7 yards. We'll see.
Tackled by Gray.
They give them forward progress to the 40, so it's only a loss of 5. It'll be 2nd and 15, 5:22 to go, third quarter. South up 8-6.
CCCNTI scoreboard. Statesville in the fourth quarter leads Alexander Central 21-14. Hickory up on Newton Conover 28-7 there in the second quarter. East Lincoln Oliver Bandies 34-7. That surprises me. I thought East Lincoln good. I thought that Bandies is good too. I thought Bandies would give them a game, but East Lincoln with the big lead in the second quarter.
Handoff fake. McGinnis throws out in the left flat, caught there by J.P. Smith. Driven out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain, gets about 4 of the sack yards back. You're listening to high school football on Kicks 103.3 WKVS-FM Lenore Hickory Morning as the clock strikes 9 on the East Coast, and we are surrounded in the press box by some youngsters with some of the finest mullets I have ever seen in my adult life.
I tell you what, there's about 3 or 4 of them running around, and they are looking good.
That's like a bunch of MacGyver kids.
I had that same haircut back in 1989.
Yeah, but you had the lines cut in the side and stuff. You had the Vanilla Ice lines.
That was in 9th grade. I got rid of the mullet. 8th grade, I had the mullet. 9th grade, I had the Vanilla Ice lines.
2 seconds on the play clock. South Caldwell's not going to get the 3rd and 12 play off. They don't quite give the reception as many yards as I thought they would. Only really a gain of about 2. It's going to be 3rd and a long 12 for South Caldwell here. Now the question is, Jeff, as South Caldwell has it 3rd and 12, they are at the North Gaston 37. You're up 8-6. I mean, you don't have to throw it here because you figure it's 2-down territory. I mean, you got 12 yards to go. I mean,
I'm going to be unpopular. You draw up your best 3rd down play here. If it's a passing play, it's a passing play. If it's a running play, it's a running play. But as we mentioned tonight, Butch Carter, get the ball in your best player's hands. If they can get the first down, I think you punt it deep here. I know you just gave up the touchdown, but that was on a muff punch. Your defense, though, has played well tonight against this team. Back them up with an inexperienced quarterback deep in their own territory. Make him beat you. I don't think it's 2-down territory. You know me. Usually I say on this side of the field, you go for it on 4th down. But depending on what they get here, let's say if they don't pick it up, let's say if it's 4th and 5, I think you put them deep, but we'll see what they draw up. I'm sure Casey just saying, let's just pick it all up on 3rd down. They're 1 for 1 on this drive on 3rd down so far.
Well, that would be ideal. McGinnis now looks like he's going to be in the gun. Nope, he goes up under center, wing formation, stand up tight end to the left. Handoff, reverse, given to Tanner Barr, slices and dices through the 35-30, big hole, 25-20 down the right sideline, 15-10, knocked out of bounds at the 5. There's the big play on the reverse, and it's going to be on the carry, Gunnar Farrell, and it's going to be inside the Fry Regional Medical Center red zone. It's a big game down inside the 5. It's going to be about a 36-yard run for Farrell on the reverse.
Good play call, the reverse on that one. Spartans going quickly.
McGinnis under center, turns, handoff over the right side, met and stood up and driven back. Kendall Freeman gets none. Loses a yard on 1st and goal. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4.
Well, on that reverse, I was going to say Kendall Freeman. It wasn't a textbook block. He did just enough to get in the way for Farrell to get free there. So they were trying to reward Freeman that time and say, hey, we're going to let you try to get it into the end zone. He picked up maybe forward progress of half a yard, but it's going to bring up 2nd and goal.
Freeman checks out. Sam Barnhart checks in. Brandon Miller comes up over the football, grabs it with a big right hand. Wing formation, McGinnis under center. Turn, handoff, Mason Holler over the left side, plants his left foot, goes north-south, and he's going to be just stopped. A good job on defense there by North Gaston, cutting the legs out from under Holler. I thought he was glory bound with 3 minutes and change to go, but he stopped, just a hair short.
Carter McGinnis, just give him the football, let him fall forward. You've got to keep it simple.
It worked in the first half.
Yeah, you keep it simple here. Don't try to do anything cute. It's 3rd down. You've converted 2 3rd downs on this drive. Just keep it simple here. Give it to your quarterback. Let him stretch it over.
Oates in, Barr out. We're under 2.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 8-6 South Caldwell. Barnhart flexes out wide to the left. McGinnis turns, handoff over the right side. Mason Holler plows his way into the end zone. Touchdown, South Caldwell. 2:26 to go in the third. South Caldwell back up by 8 points, 14-6.
A big 2-point conversion coming here. It's 14-6 right now. This is where you'd love to have a kicker. You can make it a 2-point game, but South doesn't have a kicker. And I think they're going to call, I thought Casey Justice was motioning timeout, but it was a play call that they're going to go in. But this is big here. You pick this one up and makes it a 2-score game.
McGinnis trots into the huddle. Looks at the 5 big hog mollies. They depart and head to the line of scrimmage. Now a bunch of shifting by South Caldwell. McGinnis goes under center. Hollers behind him. Turns, hands off the big 42. Hit at the point of attack, but no problem as Holler squirts into the end zone. And South Caldwell with their biggest lead of the night, up 10, 2:26 to go in the third.
16. School taking on Freedom High School. Shout out to our
Dustin Carlton, Jeff Link, David Jones hanging out with you on the Football Friday night here in Sawmills. Your Hostile Diesel Drive summary. South Caldwell goes 65 yards in 11 plays, takes 6:34 off the clock. Mason Holler gets all the print in the newspaper tomorrow. 1-yard touchdown run on the dive right, and then the 2-point conversion on the dive left. The most important stat, though, 16-6. South Caldwell up, 2:26 to go in the third, and the high pooch kick is received by Jackson Noblet, a big O lineman. Little sky kick taken at the 42, so good field position for North Gaston.
First down, Wildcats.
Yeah, I don't like those kicks. Kick it deep. Your defense is playing well. Kick it deep and put them in a position again. A young quarterback, make him, it's not a young quarterback, but a backup quarterback, make him make a decision to beat you. Now you got the middle of the field and the playbook back wide open for North Gaston.
In the gun is Wright. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left. Ball just inside the left hash as North Gaston goes right to left under the lights here at Spartan Stadium. Pats his right thigh pad, takes the handoff, over the left side he goes, calls his own number to the 50. Ball's loose on the field, and I think South Caldwell's got it. As Wright was going down, he was stripped on the play by, I believe it was Hunter Mullinax getting the strip, and South Caldwell recovers it. One play, one turnover, 2:15. South Caldwell with the spark.
Second turnover of the night for North Gaston. Their first of the second half. The muff punt by South Caldwell is the other turnover this quarter. And we said who can win this quarter may win the football game. Spartans up 8-6 in this quarter. And now I think you have to go with a lot of dive plays. Your offensive line getting a good push in that running game. Just keep it simple. Up the middle, make them stop you and waste some clock here. This is a North Gaston team not built to come from behind.
Straight I formation. Handoff over the left side. Not much in the B gap. Ball may have come loose there for South Caldwell as Oates was the ball carrier.
Yeah, either that or the referees are practicing their cornhole as they were throwing their bean bags.
So they give him the line of scrimmage. No gain on the Oates carry. 2nd and 10, under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 16-6, South Caldwell with the ball and the lead after the North Gaston fumble by the quarterback. Kashad Wright in relief of the injured Camden Canup. Single receiver to the left. Ball in the middle of the field as South goes left to right. McGinnis reverses, has time, throws off his back foot, caught by Holler, who's having a big game out in the left flat. He fumbles the football. Is loose on the field. North Gaston says they have it at about the 45-yard line. I haven't seen the official signal yet. There it is. So Holler fumbles after the completed passing gain of about 9.
Yeah, it was a good play call. Caught him out there in the flat. Holler thought he ran out of real estate there and almost got out of bounds, but dropped that football before he got out of bounds. Credit North Gaston, able to jump on it. They get the football right back. It's going to be and there was a penalty against the Spartans, so that one will be negated as well, too, as they'll wave that one off. I didn't see the flag thrown on that one, but nonetheless, North Gaston, they take over 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line. So both teams trading fumbles here in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, just basically going back and forth between each other's 45-yard lines. North Gaston with the ball again on the right hash. Twins to the short side right. One receiver near us here in the press box between the numbers and the hash marks on the left side of the formation with the stand-up tight end. Wright drops back, loads up the home run ball, got a man running wide open. It's Keldon Williams, green grass, white stripes. Nobody within 20 yards of Keldon Williams, and it's a 55-yard touchdown pass. 1:14 to go. North Gaston right back in it.
Just heard one of the defensive coaches up above us from South Caldwell yell out, "What are you doing?" And that's a good question. What was the cornerback and safety doing on that one? Because he was too wide open. So 2 turnovers by South Caldwell this quarter. And the very next play, the Wildcats cash in. 16-12. North Gaston obviously will go for 2.
So Keldon Williams, the young man we told you about in the pregame show that was kind of the one-man gang for North Gaston, strikes again, but they do bring out the extra point unit. Kicking will be Kali Guzman. Can't see the number on the holder. Snap is back. Spot is down. The kick is going to be no good. The holder has the ball. Quarterback right. He's going to be sacked. Taken down right there. I think that was just a mishandled snap by the quarterback, and in to take him down was Hunter Mullinax. He's been all over the place tonight. South Caldwell with a 4-point lead, 16-12 over North Gaston. 1:14 to go in the third on kicks.
Taking on TC Roberson next Friday. We will be inducting.
So glad to have you guys along for an absolutely gorgeous Football Friday night. Light schedule in the Valley. South Caldwell trying to make the most of the spotlight. They lead North Gaston, do the Spartans 16-12. But no thanks to the 55-yard touchdown pass, Keyshawn Wright to Keldon Williams. One play after the holler fumble. The extra point attempt, no good. South Caldwell has one of those weird leads now, 16-12. North Gaston kicking off. If I'm South Caldwell, I'm looking out for the onside kick here. Here's the run up. It's not that. It's an absolutely vertical knuckleball that's going to hit and kick out of bounds once again at the feet of Tanner Barr. South Caldwell have it at their own 35, and now a little bit of urgency on the Spartans' shoulders. Again, Jeff, I feel like South Caldwell's played the better game outside of about 2 or 3 big plays, but here they are only up 4.
Well, Darrell Wilson said that to you in his pregame interview brought to you by Car Source of Lenore. Said, hey, you know, if you make 3 mistakes and get 21 points out of them, that's kind of the magic number in a football game. Spartans haven't got to 21 yet, but what happened the last time South Caldwell gave up the touchdown right after a turnover? They put a long drive together and answered it with a touchdown of their own. So, again, no need to panic here. Put together another good drive and put it into the end zone. You're back in control of this ball game.
Wing formation. McGinnis hands off over the left side, getting through the first tackle, not the second one. Goes Tanner Barr, gain of about 3.5. It'll be second and a short 7 as we're at 1 minute to go in the third quarter. South Caldwell up by 4.
Second down, Spartans.
South Caldwell showing no urgency here. They're going to let that play clock run down. They'll probably keep it on the ground one more time and run this quarter out. They're wanting the clock to work in their favor. Guinness heads back out to the huddle with still 19 seconds on the play clock, 42 seconds on the game clock.
South Caldwell looking for win number 2 on the season. Single receiver far to their wide side right, handoff. It's going to be Freeman, and not much doing there. Actually, Freeman going to take
Freeman with the carry.
Maybe no gain. Short loss. South Caldwell won't have to snap this again. 16 on the game clock, 30 on the play clock. Casey Justice walking toward the other end of the field, holding 4 fingers in the air. 12 minutes between the Spartans and win number 2 on the season. South Caldwell leads North Gaston 16-12 after 3 quarters are in the books. Come back for the finale next on 103.3.
You can't be serious. Look at this wireless bill.
You should switch to Carolina West Wireless. Bring in a bill from any carrier and they'll give you a better price.
Seriously.
They do better wireless, better help, better network, better features, better service. Seriously. Just bring in your rate plan bill. With Carolina West Wireless, better wireless is now.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
Certain restrictions apply. See stores for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions. Offer expires October 31, 2025.
Just like your favorite football team defends its end zone, Clay Anders Insurance is here to defend your home and vehicles. With their unbeatable coverage options, you'll have the ultimate defense against life's unexpected challenges. Clay Anders Insurance. Your family's protection is their winning play. Contact Clay Anders Insurance Lenore office at 828-758-5551 for a free quote, or visit ClayAndersInsurance.com and rest easy knowing they've got you covered.
We'll reset it after this. South Caldwell breaks the huddle. Start of the fourth quarter with the ball and the lead at their own 38-yard line. Here's the snap to McGinnis. Play fake. Dump over the middle of the field. Caught right there by J.P. Smith. Makes one-man miss. Tackled for a gain, and it's the High Brighton Building Supply first down out to about the 47-yard line. It's going to be about a
Rodriguez on the tackle.
11-yard pitch and catch.
Great concentration by J.P. Smith coming on with that football, but an even better job to turn it upfield. He took an initial contact, would not go down, got the yards after catch, the yak.
Love it.
He's able to get that first down. The Spartans 3 for 3 on third downs here in this second half. They were 2 of 6 in the first half, but getting it done on third down here in the third.
High Brighton Builder Supply first down. 2 stand-up tight ends to the wide side right. South comes back to the short side of the field looking for the boundary. Going out of bounds. Tyne Oates and had a little assistance.
Come on.
Yeah, into the bench, and he's going to wind up with a gain of about 6, so kind of a friendly spot, but that doesn't make up for the extra effort there by the Wildcats defense. Does stop the clock with 11:22 to go in the game.
The coaches from South Caldwell having a word with the line judge over there, and I agree with South Caldwell on that one. That's not only is it a dangerous play, but it's a situation where you have it can make for a volatile situation between the players. You put the kids in a situation where they're going to have to react. And I know suspensions and ejections are up across the state of North Carolina, 100 in the month of August, but sometimes the officials got to do a better job in those situations to keep those things from happening.
McGinnis handoff over the right side. Big alley. 45-40. Flag comes flying in. It's going to be a big carry for Tanner Barr, but I think he's going to come back.
Hold on that one. It's going to bring it back. Stephen Polis makes his way to the middle of the field, and we'll call the holding penalty against the Spartans.
Penalty is
about a 17-yard run, wiped away from the pages of history on that one.
See if that's going to back it up, and puts it. It's going to make it about 2nd and 9, so ends up it's a 10-yard penalty. But when you look at it from the yardage point, backs it up from about 4 yards from where they were, 4 or 5 yards, but nonetheless, only the second penalty of the night against the Spartans. They had one that was declined earlier, but only the second penalty of the night against the Spartans. Both of them been holding calls. That was a big problem with South Caldwell in years past, is inopportune penalties, but doing a good job here tonight.
Clock rolls under 11 minutes to go. South Caldwell with the ball and the lead, and now Casey Justice wants a timeout on the 2nd and 9 play. Scoreboard tomorrow morning. Highlights from this game, scores from around the valley. What have we learned about the area teams after 1 month of football? Vad Lee, former Georgia Tech and JMU quarterback. NASCAR, college, and Carolina Panthers talk too, starting at 9 tomorrow morning on the scoreboard.
Taking a look at your CCC and TI scoreboard. Statesville with a 27-14 lead over Alexander Central. A minute 32 left to go in that one. McDowell, no problems tonight in Avery. They lead 47-0 midway through the third quarter. Taking a look at college football, Houston leads Colorado 16-7.
So
Hickory leads Conover 28-7. Had a controversial play in that one. They had about according to Jason Savage, Our colleague down at WHKY said they had a very confusing 15-minute delay while they sorted out block punt. So
wow.
Hickory leads comfortably, however, 28-7.
Back to live action, handoff Barr over the right side, got a wedge, he's got a lane, 45-40, 35, and dragged down from behind at about the 34-yard line. It's going to be about an 18-yard run by Tanner Barr, and it's a High-Brighton Building Supply first down to the 34 and a fresh set of downs for the Spartans.
Yeah, same play that they ran that they got the holding penalty on. They go right back to it, and that time blocked it up a little bit better. And the Spartans are in business now. 10:30 clock rolling. Spartans have a 4-point lead and going to run a little clock here.
10:24, 10:23. McGinnis being very patient. Mason Hubbard flexed out to the right side, short side of the field. Handoff over the left side, dive in the A gap between guard and center on the wide side. Going to be a short gain, if any, for the South Caldwell offense, waiting to peel players off of the field. Get show sportsmanship there. A lot of helmets padded by both guys. That's what you like to see on Football Friday night.
Yeah, just good hard-hitting football, good play up the middle, and Spartans didn't get a lot of yardage out of it, but it's a situation here where you're running some clock, as that clock now going to roll under 10 minutes, and you're probably in 4-down territory, so you can kind of waste a play there.
2nd and 10, under 10 minutes to go now. South Caldwell protecting a 4-point lead, looking to even their record. Wing formation for McGinnis. Drops back, calls his own number over the right side, got a little bit of a crease, hit, stood up, driven back, but forward progress as the rugby scrum continues to roll laterally is going to be a gain of about 4 by McGinnis.
Short gain.
So to bring up 3rd and medium at the 31-yard line of North Gaston.
Austin with the stop for North
But
Gaston.
credit McGinnis with about 4 yards on the tote. Matt, you know I'm a sucker for play-by-play guys. And Matt Chazanow, new second-year voice of the Wolfpack, he kills me. When there's no gain on a running play, he'll say, Jeff Link with the carry for a gain of 0. And I just, every time he says it, it kills me. A gain of 0.
It's going to be 3rd down for South Caldwell. 3rd down's been good in the second half for the Spartans. They're 3 of 3 on 3rd down. They'll go to the line quickly.
3rd and 6, under 9 to go. McGinnis, handoff over the right side. Trailing defender comes in on the back of Kyan Oates and takes him down after a short gain. So give him a yard. It's going to be 4th and 5 from the 30. South Caldwell, field goal does North Gaston no good. Doesn't look like they've got much of a kicking game to begin with, but looks like South Caldwell keeps the offense on the field here.
I think, do you try to go for the hard count here,
Yes.
get them to jump?
Yes,
if you don't,
you
take
read
the
my
penalty
mind.
and maybe punt it away. Final score, first one of the night coming across the wire. Statesville defeats Alexander Central 27-14.
That game probably a little closer than I thought. Although, Jeff, 5 yards here, I think they'd be about 6 inches short. McGinnis comes out from under center. Handoff fake, throwing deep. It's going to be in and out of the hands of the DB. That could have been picked off by Zaylen Alexander, but there was some contact.
We might have a late hit going against McGinnis here. We'll see
McGinnis
what
pass
the
intended
call
for
is.
Barnhart.
That would be
ineligible
penalty
receiver.
flags.
Oh, man.
So that will be declined, and the Spartans will turn it over on downs.
Penalty is against the
So
Spartans.
McGinnis 1 for 2
First
passing
down,
on that
North
drive,
Gaston.
but that one kind of threw into – you don't mind throwing into coverage there because if it gets picked off, it's probably just the same as a punt there. But still, South Caldwell able to take that from 114 in the 3rd down to 8:09 in the 4th. So South Caldwell takes over 5 minutes off the clock, but get no points as the Spartans fell on 4th and 6. Now North Gaston from their own 30. Needing a touchdown to go back out in front. South Caldwell defense been pretty good tonight. Here's the snap. Handoff fake. Going to be sacked in the backfield. J.P. Smith treating Keyshawn Wright rudely. The 3rd sack of the night for the Spartans.
The North Gaston coaching staff won the horse collar on that one. Stephen Bullis, the official, saying, nope, he had him by the front of the jersey, took him down. That's a clean tackle. A big stop by JP, as that's going to get North Gaston behind the chains. Loss of 5 on the play brings up 2nd and 15.
-5 on the sack by J.P. Smith. The South Caldwell defense has been active tonight. 7:33, clock rolling. South Caldwell with the 4-point lead, but North Gaston with the ball. backup quarterback Keshad Wright's been in since midway through the first. And now whistles blow, and I think North Gaston wants to talk about it. Stops the clock with 7:25 to go in the game.
That'll be their first timeout of the night. Another final score coming across the CCC and TI scoreboard. It's Polk with a 35-14 win over Patton. Patton falls to 0-3. They had their bye week 2, so they'll start conference play next week. As we said, Alexander Central loses on the road tonight to Statesville. Statesville moves to 4-0 on the season as Statesville wins at 27-14 over Alexander Central. Alexander Central now at 1-3.
North Gaston satisfied with being coached up. Interesting, Darrell Wilson, head coach, was not out there on the field during that timeout. Offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach out there on the field handling duties.
Well, he's a defensive guy. Going to trust his offensive coaches.
Right in the gun. Ball's on the left hash as North Gaston goes left to right. They're back to the scoreboard. Drops back in the pocket. Good protection. Now it breaks down, scramble to the right. A lot of green grass in front of him. Makes a dive step to the 28, driven out of bounds at the 30. And now they're going to throw a late hit on South Caldwell, and the press box is about to come unglued upstairs.
Same play as what happened a while ago. They're going to call a personal foul against South Caldwell for riding him out of bounds. And I agree with the call, but my disagreement is,
why didn't you call that earlier when North Gaston did the same thing?
Play.
Yeah,
I think both of them deserved a penalty. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, the first unsportsmanlike penalty against
penalty is personal foul
South Caldwell tonight. And again, I agree with the call. I think the call's correct, but the same thing happened earlier on North Gaston on the same sideline, and you didn't call it then. And to his advantage, the line judge on both sides didn't throw the flag. That one came from the official trailing.
It would have been 3rd and 10 from the 30-yard line. Now it's going to be a High-Broughton Building Supply first down out to the 46. Fresh set of downs for North Gaston. As now the Wildcats are moving. Twins on the right side, short side for Wright in the gun. Claps his hand, slaps his thigh. Drops back, has a protector in front of him, steps up, cocks the arm, throws down middle of the field. It's going to be in and out of the hands of the defender. Sam Barnhart was thinking interception, but the ball floated a little bit. Rylan Barber, the tight end, went up, got a hand on it, couldn't haul it in. Long foul ball, stops the clock, 7:07 to go in the game. 2nd and 10. South Caldwell nursing a 4-point lead, 16-12 if you're tuning in late.
Okabanjo.
There you go.
Some pressure there.
Strumming on his old banjo.
Yeah, got a banjo in his name.
South Caldwell hoping the defense doesn't break any strings here.
I like that. Good job.
Thank you.
I tell you what, you're in mid-season form, my friend.
Musical genius. Flexed out to the left is Jaden Jones. 2 receivers to the short side, and North Gaston wasn't in formation. Did they call a timeout? That should be a false start. They had wide receivers walking forward to the line.
You can do that in Canada, eh?
Yeah.
Can't do that in North America or in North USA. Canada is in North America. That teacher lady.
I'll tell you, that geography class at East Burke.
I told that teacher lady the only crayons I needed were red, white, and blue.
You're Frenchie now? By the way, I shared an article that our friend Paul Schenkel wrote up on Tommy Blanton at East Burke. What a great guy Tommy Blanton is, and what a great article by Paul Schenkel. If you haven't read that, you can check out Facebook.com/CV Blitz.
Good article, but they're not calling a false start. They just reset. I don't understand this one. You blew the play dead. They were moving. They were snapping the ball. No penalty marker. They're just going to reset the play clock.
I have no idea what happened. Ball's on the right hash, though. New quarterback in the game for North Gaston. Orbit motion with Keldon Williams behind the quarterback, takes a shotgun snap. Handoff is to Williams. Shutter bugging back to the 45. He loses a yard. I believe that is Owen Brazil, number 12 in the game of quarterback.
Yeah, he's going to go back out. So a quick quarterback change there, give him a different look. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and 3rd down has not been good for North Gaston tonight. They are 0 for 4 on 3rd downs, 0 for 1 here in the second half. And what is it the NBA has? They have that press pull. They call it the 2-minute report with the officials. I'd like to have a 2-minute report with these officials tonight. And I like Stephen Pullis. He and I, for my time up in Boone, were good friends. But goodness gracious, couple calls questionable here.
Lots of shifting. Trips to the wide side, left for right. Drops back, clean pocket. Steps up, takes his protector with him. Little jump pass out in the left flat. And did they rule that complete or no?
Incomplete.
Okay, I just want to check because I've already seen one bounce in. That'll bring up 4th and 11. Does stop the clock with 6:13 to go. South Caldwell up 16-12.
First time tonight we'll see North Gaston go for it on 4th down. I assume they're going to go for it. They might punt it away here. You still got 2 timeouts in your back pocket. I think they will punt it away. So.
Yeah, they send in Martin Villamil to punt. Now watch the fake. Watch the fake at 4th and 11 from their own 45. South Caldwell's got the defense safe out there. Villamil fumbles the snap, picks it up, and gets it away. It's an end-over-end punt. It's going to hit. It's going to take a nice South Caldwell bounce and check up right there at the 33, down by Josiah Smith there. So South Caldwell takes over their own 33 with 6:06 to go. After some tense moments there, and the late hit doesn't come back to haunt the Spartans.
First down, South Caldwell.
Another final score coming across the CCC and TI wire. McDowell gets their second win of the season as they shut out Avery County tonight. 47-0. Avery County falls to 1-3.
And I know you look at a school the size of McDowell beating a school the size of Avery, but that score has been upside down in recent years. Right. Avery's had their way with McDowell, so the Titans trying to put something together. Handoff Tanner Barr on the stretch play, right side, plants his foot, gets north and south to the 40, gain of 5. Second and 5.
Plays worked well tonight.
It has. South Caldwell has blocked better on plays going off tackle and to the edge than they have in the trenches. And, of course, South Caldwell with such depth at running back, they just seem to have an endless supply of ball carriers back there. So if you can get into the fourth quarter with a lead, you like South Caldwell's chances at being able to salt one away. 15 on the play clock, 5:30 on the game clock. South Caldwell with the ball at their own 40, right hash going right to left. McGinnis under center. Snaps, turns, handoff Barr over the right side. Hit, squirts out, got the first down and more out near midfield. Good hard running by Tanner Barr. Gain of about 9. It's a Highbrighton Building Supply first down to the South Caldwell 48.
Thought he lost his footing there. We're going to have an injury timeout, and I hope that's not Barr, as he's slow to get up. He is slow to get up. Looks like he may have twisted that ankle. He'll have to come out of the ball game. But good hard run by that young man. And if you're Darrell Wilson, 5:16 to go, you got 2 timeouts. South Caldwell, you know they're going to run the football. You may start thinking about, when do I call timeouts, and don't want this South Caldwell Spartan team to just milk this clock down and give your offense very little time to respond.
Well, if you're the South Caldwell training staff, you're spraying the spider tack on the palms. You're making sure those hands are good and sticky. And if you're North Gaston, you're probably telling your defenders, first man there, stand him up. Everybody else aim for that brown, funny-shaped ball in his hands. McGinnis reverses out from under center to the tailback. Mason Holler across the 45 to the 44. Gain of about 7. Good hard run for Holler. Nobody runs lower on this South Caldwell offense than Mason Holler.
Yeah, low to the ground. He's
South Caldwell.
One of those typical builds for your fullback. He puts 2 hands over that football, protects it well. Good first down pick up there, 2nd and 2. And South Caldwell going to run this clock down. Tick, 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 as Mr. Corso would say.
Holler listed at 5'9", $145. Looks thicker than that. Looks like he went back for seconds in the cafeteria today.
I wouldn't want to wrestle him.
No. That low center of gravity at belly button about 6 inches off the ground. Again, they go back to Holler. Puts his head down over the left side. Forward progress is going to be close. He's going to be close. Maybe about a half a yard short.
You'll take that, though, if you're Casey Justice. Yes. You'll take that. That's not 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but it's 2.5.
They're under 4 minutes.
Yeah, make it very manageable. 3rd and short. South Caldwell 3 of 4 on 3rd downs here in this one. Very manageable. If you're Darrell Wilson, this might be the football game right here. If you can get a stop here, you might get that football back. If you don't stop them here, you're going to have to start using your timeouts.
3rd and the short 1 for the Spartans. Ball just inside the right hash, tip of the football, touching the 43-yard line. McGinnis under center, wing T formation behind. Handoff over the right side. I believe that's Freeman. He's got plenty. Needed 2 feet, got about 5 yards. And it is Freeman on the carry, and the Highbrighton Builders Supply first down. South Caldwell moves the chains, and the drive continues.
A name that we've not got to call tonight from North Gaston, but did want to put this one out there. They have a junior on the team, number 14. Bill Belichick might be interested in this one. His name's Tom Brady.
His name is Tom Brady. It's we saw the rise of kids named Jordan. Then we saw the rise of kids named Kobe, and now. Are we going to see a bunch of Toms running around out there? I mean, Tom Brady.
Maybe just Brady instead of Tom
Could
Brady.
be Brady. Ball's at the 30 of North Gaston. Handoff Tanner Barr right of South Caldwell. Just cycles running backs through there. Barr gets out of the first tackle and dives back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a short gain.
I'd have called timeout right there if I'm them. They're going to hold on to it. 2:38 to go, 2:28 rather than go. If I'm Darrell Wilson, I'm calling the timeout. You got 2 left, and Casey Justice may let this one run down, and he's got 1 left himself.
Mason Holler comes to the sideline with his hand on his hip flexor and immediately falls down on his seat, getting some attention from the training staff. So your big Bulldog is out of there on this 2nd and 11 play. 2 minutes to go exactly in the ball game. South Caldwell leading North Gaston 16-12. Motion with Smith behind McGinnis. Low toss on the tall sweep, but hit there. And wanting a face mask, Tanner Barr. I don't see a flag. Holy cow.
Barr with the carry.
Wow. No flag and no gain. It'll be 3rd and 11.
And again, why are you not calling timeouts if you're North Gaston? You got 2 left.
You're going to have to call one. That's going to be down to a minute to go. Wow. Don't understand the clock management here from Darrell Wilson.
Yeah. Somewhere Mike London, the former Virginia coach, going, hey, you got to call a timeout. Got to throw a little shade to the Cavaliers.
It's fine.
State
beat them for you.
I won't have a lot of shade to throw in November, I'm afraid.
6 seconds on the play clock. McGinnis rushes to the line, redirects traffic behind him. 2 seconds, just gets the snap off, hands it to Barr. It's the reverse on the right side and not going anywhere. A big loss as Gunnar Farrell is taken down. I'm not sure how Barr got that ball back to Farrell. There were so many white shirts in the backfield. I don't know how that wasn't disrupted. I guess North Gaston called a timeout with 56.8 seconds to go. It's going to be 4th and long on the negative play. There's going to be a loss of about 6.
South Caldwell might have got a little bit too cute there.
I don't like that play call. I don't like it.
Too many bad things. Yeah, too many bad things can happen, and you know North Gaston's going to be shooting the gaps and trying to swat at the football there. So a dangerous play. South Caldwell holds on to it but loses yardage. Going to bring up 4th and about 17, 56.8 seconds to go. I'm sure J.P. Smith will be coming on for a punt. He had one that checked up inside the 15-yard line earlier tonight. You just need to get a quick punt. Let him check one off here.
Do you punt here, or do you just maybe you snap it to J.P. and have him run it?
Punt it.
Man, I'm concerned about the snap.
They've scored 2 touchdowns tonight, and it's been right after turnovers. You punt it away and make a inexperienced quarterback go 20 yards.
80 yards. I'm sorry,
I was thinking 20 yards.
I knew what you're saying, yeah. I'm not convinced that you don't leave the offense out there.
You got a new center now. I don't know. We talked about that. The starting center, Parker Cobb, out with an injury.
They do leave the offense out there. Yes, I like this.
Is this window dressing, though? Do you just go up there and burn one?
You can't get them to jump off sides. It's 4th and 17, but I think they just run a play. I think they just hand the ball off here.
Now Casey Justice is going to burn his last time out, so kind of a little basketball coaching move there. Let's see what they're going to draw up. And North Gaston had a guy deep on that one.
Maybe you pooch punt it. I mean, maybe you put McGinnis in the shotgun, you snap it to him and pooch punt it. Maybe you do that and try to kick it over their head. Coming up in 56 seconds, it's the Clay Anders Insurance post-game show. Affordable comprehensive insurance for auto, home, life, and commercial in Lenore, Statesville, and the surrounding areas. Call 758-5551 for a free quote. Clay Anders Insurance in business since 1937. ClayAndersInsurance.com. Yeah, I like the pooch punt idea here. I'm still in favor of just running a play, milking time off the clock, and don't risk a bad snap. Don't risk a blown assignment. Don't risk a blocked punt. I remember when NC State punted to Giovanni Bernard, in Chapel Hill, and he ran one back to beat the Wolfpack in the Tom O'Brien era, one that State had in the bag. They may change their mind and punt here, and it might be the right call. I see J.P. Smith going out there now, but I also see McGinnis.
Yeah, McGinnis is out there. And
I think it's going to be the offense, but we'll see.
Yeah, McGinnis is going to line up beside. Now they're putting J.P. So, yeah, it's going to be McGinnis getting it in the – I think it is the pooch.
He's in the gun, and it's
now they'll shift J.P. Yeah.
J.P. goes in, but he's not at punting depth. He's only about 7 yards deep. Now he backs up. It is the quick pooch punt, but Williams is going to have a shot off of one hop at the 12. Makes one man miss to the 15. Over to the left 20, reverses field. Good job by the South Caldwell punt coverage team getting down there, making the stop, and we give credit to number 3, Corbin McGinnis, the quarterback, getting down there to make the stop. Great job by number 3, your senior leader.
Well, number 3 is an iconic number in the state of North Carolina, Earnhardt. And guess what North Gaston's best player wears?
3.
Number 3. So you got to find where number 3 is. They're going to put him out as a wide receiver. No timeouts for North Gaston, 45.8 seconds to go.
Ball's on the 20 for North Gaston. Backup quarterback in the game. Here's the snap. Rolls to his left. Cocks the arm. Throws. Caught. Gets upfield. Gets down the sideline and finally steps out of bounds on the first down play. It's going to be a High Brighton Building Supply first down. A gain of...
It's going to be about 15, 16 yards. But you'll give those chunk plays in that situation. You don't want to get beat deep. So you'll give up those chunk plays.
First down, North Gaston.
Didn't have to use a timeout, though. 37.7. Right in the gun, trips to the right. Oh, and that's going to be a false start. He clapped, and the slot receiver, who has an exceptionally clean uniform, may not have been in. And he's standing there like a statued owl. But that's going to be number 22.
False start against North Gaston.
I don't have a 22 on my roster, but
it's going to be one of those JVers pulled up.
Yep. Oh, buddy. Makes it 1st and 15. You back it up to the 31. Trips to the right. Single receiver left. Stand up tight end to the wide side right. Claps his hands. Slaps his right thigh pad. Has the snap. South Caldwell sends 4. Rolls the pocket right. Cocks the arm. Throws middle of the field. Going to be nearly intercepted. Mason Holler was there. Gunnar Farrell was there. And those two guys may have ran into each other a bit to miss the pick. Stops the clock with 31.3.
Casey Justice standing way down on the opposite side of the field, put both hands up in the air. He thought his defense had come up with the 9. He'll take the incompletion, but the heartburn will come back here momentarily. South Caldwell will need to get 2 more stops.
2nd and 15 now. Same formation. Trips, empty backfield. Here's the snap for right. Drops back, clean pocket. Rolls to the right now, looking downfield. Got a man in the flats, called at the 40. Out to the 45, trying to get to midfield. Good tackle there by Gunnar Farrell. It's a High Brighton Building Supply first down, gain of about 16, and North Gaston calls a timeout.
I thought they were out of timeouts.
The referee says nay.
Okay, so I missed
19.3 seconds and 53 yards away from pay dirt. This quarterback does not have the arm.
No,
he's not going to throw it in there. It's got to be something underneath. Watch the hook and lateral right here.
Yeah, and that's what you worry about when those receivers catch it underneath and then turn it back up field if you miss a block or miss an assignment somewhere. But the good news is now they are out of timeout, so if you stop them in the field of play, there's not going to be any time left for another play. So I know it sounds hard to believe, but 19.3 seconds to go. This could be the last play of the ball game here. If you get a stop in bounds, I don't think they'll have an opportunity to snap it and spike it real quick, or that may be what Coach Wilson's telling his team right now. Let's go to some sideline outs and try to get a little bit closer if we're going to try to go for the Hail Mary, but you're going to have to get a lot closer.
Yeah. Most high school teams, unless you're an elite passing team, your operation just isn't efficient enough to get 2 plays here if you're in bounds. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. South Caldwell just sends 4. Right steps up, cocks the arm, throws it as far as he can down the field. Oh, and nearly intercepted, but there's a big hit. Getting undercut and going to the turf hard is a South Caldwell DB. Is that Alton? Is that 15?
I thought it was 12, but we don't
I thought it was
have
12, and I
on the
don't have a
roster.
12. That's
Yeah.
why I guessed 15. But he was undercut inadvertently by North Gaston receiver who is also down on the turf right now. They're both being checked out.
Yeah, Mason Holler
was 42.
Down. He gets up, but I don't know if that was. I was looking to see number 11, J.P. Smith out here. Was it 14? Masson Clay. It was a 1.
Barber is the injured North Gaston
got a
player.
North Gaston player down. Got a South Caldwell player down.
Farrell is
going
the
to be
injured
Gunnar Farrell.
player.
Yeah, that's down on the ground right now. So a couple final scores that have come across the wire tonight while we have this injury timeout. Polk County defeats Patton 35-14. It was Statesville getting the best of Alexander Central 27-14. McDowell beats Avery County 47-0. Those are the only final scores we have thus far tonight. We'll catch you up with all the final scores once we move into our post-game show. Coming up in about 11.5 seconds, we will award the Western Piedmont Community College Player of the Game. We'll also give you the Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy Play of the Game. It's all coming up in the Clay Anders Insurance post-game show. And if you're a South Caldwell Spartan fans, cover your ears. But the Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy Play of the Game may not have happened yet. Or it could be. It could be an interception.
It could be. It could be. So it was the big tight end, Ryland Barber for North Gaston, and it was Gunnar Farrell for South Caldwell. Both of those players have to come out at least this play. 11.5 seconds to go. Ball on the left hash. Trips to the left. Twins to the right. Complete empty backfield for Wright. Drops back. Rolls to his left. Cocks the arm. Throws down the sideline. Single coverage. Got a man there. And it's caught and dropped. Kelvin Williams had it at the 15-yard line. And Mason Holler knocked it out of his hands with 4 seconds to go.
No, they're going to say he called it.
No way.
And then it dropped it out of bounds. They're going to say a completed pass, and they're going to have 4 seconds and one play from the 15-yard line. Here we go. No timeouts for either team. They'll set the chains.
Wow. I can't believe they said he called it from the 15. One shot at the end zone. Everything hanging on the South Caldwell defense here as they reset the chains. This will be the last play if there's no penalties. Trips left. Twins right. Ball on the left hash, empty backfield for Wright. Slaps the stop at, has the ball. 3-step drop, rolls left, looks to the end zone. Cox throws, caught, North Gaston touchdown. No incomplete. He wrote it incomplete. It's dropped and South Caldwell wins. South Caldwell holds on, wins the football game. 16-12.
As I said, the Melanie's Hometown Play of the Game had not happened yet. It ends up being an incomplete pass. I think they're going to rule that he was out of bounds. And that will be it. Heartbreak for North Gaston and a big, huge sigh of relief for the South Caldwell Spartans.
Unbelievable finish here in Sawmills as by the skin of their teeth on 2 absolutely unbelievable pass plays that, quite frankly, the play-by-play guy got wrong both. And now we've got North Gaston coaches needing to be detained on the sideline as the referees exit under the tent as they head back toward the referee changing area. But some other coaches had to intervene as some of the North Gaston coaches were not happy with the final call of incomplete. Again, must have been out of the back of the end zone for the diving, sliding grab. And North Gaston falls to 1-3. South Caldwell improves to 2-2 on the season. And for the first time this year for your Kick Sports team, we had a close football game after 3 blowouts. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us right here. We're going to take a timeout on the other side. Stay right where you are. It's the Clay Anders Insurance postgame show coming up next on your radio, on your internet connection, or if you're of a mind, you can watch it. GoFoothills.com is the website where you can listen. The Facebook page is facebook.com/CV Blitz Spartan Nation. If you're at home, we want to see you in the Clay Anders Insurance postgame show. The final score from Sawmills. South Caldwell holds on at the end to beat North Gaston 16-12. And you heard it all on Kicks. Somebody call the Sawmills Volunteer Fire Department. It was a barn burner tonight at South Caldwell High School. The Spartans hold on to beat North Gaston 16-12. fireworks indeed on the final drive. A couple of improbable plays, to say the least, gave the visitors from Dallas a chance at the end, but the South Caldwell defense gets the stop when it counted, and the Spartans improved to 2-2 on the season. North Gaston drops to 1-3. The final score, South Caldwell 16, North Gaston 12. Welcome in to the Clay Anders Insurance postgame show right here on Kicks 103.3, GoFoothills.com. Maybe you're watching live at Facebook.com/CV Blitz tonight. We're glad to have you along for the ride. Justin Carlton is back at Network Control. Jeff Links alongside. I'm David Jones. And, Jeff, that first half just went lickety-split. Very clean, very easy, very wholesome, kind of Little House on the Prairie. The second half kind of turned into MTV House Rules or something, with penalties, no calls, amazing catches. Was it a catch? It was kind of everything you wanted. It was kind of a Jekyll and Hyde half of football. We got the fireworks at the end. You accurately said maybe the play of the game hadn't even happened yet. And South Caldwell, kind of by the skin of their teeth, probably outplayed North Gaston for 40, 42 minutes of this 48-minute football game, but it took a play in the back of the end zone at the end where the officials ruled the North Gaston receiver out of bounds. Looked like he made the catch, but was beyond the boundary marker, and South Caldwell survived 16-12. What's your 30,000-foot view?
Well, two teams needing a win here tonight, and as you said, it was a game that South Caldwell pretty much dominated except everywhere on the scoreboard, and had two turnovers that were costly, ended up giving up with those two turnovers 2 touchdowns, the only 2 touchdowns of the night for North Gaston, but bounced back well after that, and did a better job in the second half converting on third down opportunities. But you got to give North Gaston credit. I was fussing at their coach about the clock management there at the end, but he gave himself what you wanted. You wanted to have a chance to win the football game on the road with no time left. They got the pass down inside the 20-yard line, the next to last play of the game, which we thought was a incomplete pass, or if nothing else, a fumble out of bounds. That should have been South Caldwell's football, but they gave it to them and said it was a completed pass. The defense had to get set, and again, a good play design with a backup quarterback. Let's mention that for North Gaston, not playing most of this game with a backup quarterback. And we said he didn't have the arm strength, but his offensive line gave him enough time, and he was able to find a receiver in the back of the end zone. But if you're a South Caldwell fan, you got to be thankful that receiver didn't look down to see where his feet was, and he was out of bounds. He made the catch, but he was out of bounds. And a couple of calls did not go South Caldwell's way tonight. I got on the officials a little bit, but the most important call tonight, I'd like to see a replay of it to see where his feet was. Was he in bounds? Was he not in bounds? But the good news is you don't have instant replay in high school football, but it was ruled incomplete, and South Caldwell gets the win. A couple of passes you and I talked about looked like they bounced on the ground that were completed for North Gaston. So when you're a 1-2 football team, you're looking for any breaks you can get. South Caldwell gets the breaks tonight, and they're 2-2, and swish your feet in this one. Enjoy it for 48 hours, then get back to work Monday because you've got a very good T.C. Roberson team coming in for a Hall of Fame night next Friday night here at Sawmills.
Well, here's the thing. We who watch high school and college and pro football games, we've all seen trail officials on the sidelines, miss where a player stepped out of bounds. On a long run down the sidelines, they're top roping it. We've seen them miss that call. The ones that they typically get is the back judge, standing back, under the uprights, under the goalposts. They usually don't miss those calls. So I feel very confident in that official's viewing. He was where he was supposed to be to make the read on that play. He didn't hesitate. I called it a touchdown because the receiver clearly brought that ball in, but the official clearly stated that he caught that ball out of bounds. So that official was in the right position to make that call. A handful of the North Gaston coaches, may get a sternly worded email from the SCHS after their attempt to get over to the officials as they left the field. Some of the other coaches from North Gaston, they did a good job. They got in and restrained those coaches. And I understand it. North Gaston is frustrated. They've played 2 close games. They didn't get blown out last week. Concord got away from them late. They felt like they had the drive of the year, the player of the year with a backup quarterback to turn their season around, and it was kind of a self-inflicted wound. But for South Caldwell, the other side of that coin is you outplayed them for 42 minutes or so, and you just got to clean up a few things. Like you say, the opposition ratchets up a little bit next week, but you know what? I'd rather coach them up after a win than coach them up after a loss, and South Caldwell leaves with the win, and that's the main thing tonight.
Yeah, I thought, again, Corbin McGinnis, we talked about this year, as Corbin McGinnis he's Timex. He takes a licking and he keeps on ticking, and I thought he put himself in a new situation with a new center in there with Parker Cobb going down. They had to do it, first time we've seen South Caldwell go under center as much as they had.
Yeah.
And, that was just something that they put in this week, obviously, and I thought Corbin McGinnis did a good job commanding the offense. J.P. Smith, some critical plays, some good jobs down the stretch. Also got to give credit to number 15, Jacob Alton. He had some big catches there. Number 21, doing a good job running the football. Tanner Barr. Some good individual performances. Was it a clean game as we hit 10 o'clock on the East Coast? You're listening to high school football in the Valley. WKVS Kicks 103.3, Lenore, Morganton, Hickory. Some good individual performances, but, for a South Caldwell team that wins have been few and far between over the last years to get a win. And, again, protecting home turf. This is where South Caldwell is good. They're good at home. Now this makes it 4 out of their last 5 games at home. They've come away with a victory dating back to last season. The only loss in that span was the season-ending game last year against Watauga. So, they're protecting their home field advantage, and they got a big home game next week against a tough opponent, but that's why you play. It was a great football game. I'm glad you said it. I'm glad we finally had a good game to call. I told somebody today, when it's a close game, it makes our calls a lot better. It's not fun doing the 62-6 games and the 62-26 games and the 41-0 games. You want to have close ball games to call. So hats off to both teams, and I thought they played hard, and South Caldwell comes out on top.
We appreciate everybody listening tonight on Kicks 103.3 and around the world at GoFoothills.com. Appreciate you guys watching at Facebook.com/CV Blitz. We're going to take our first time out here of the Clay Anders Insurance post-game show. We're going to tally up some stats for this game tonight. We're going to try to get some final scores. The second half slowed down for us tonight. The first half, we got in basically right under an hour. The second half took more like an hour and a half. So we'll get some stats. We'll get some scores. We've got to tabulate some votes. We'll come back and hand out some hardware, the Western Piedmont Community College Player of the Game, the Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy Play of the Game. So we've got helmet stickers. We've got game balls. We've got a lot to hand out next as the Clay Anders Insurance postgame show continues. South Caldwell beats North Gaston 16-12 tonight, and the Clay Anders Insurance postgame show continues on Kicks after this.
Hi, this is Ashlyn Thomason from Student Support Services at Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute, inviting you to take that
routine to the unforeseen. Count on us. To find a primary care provider or specialist, visit myfryregional.com and click on the Find a Doctor tab.
It's the Clay Anders Insurance post-game show coming to you from Spartan Stadium in Sawmills. Jeff Link, David Jones. Big thank you to the real MVP, Justin Carlton, back at the station, keeping us up and running. Final score tonight, South Caldwell wins 16-12. DJ is still running through some final stats here, so we'll go ahead and give you the Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute scoreboard. South Caldwell wins 16-12. North Gaston's pass attempt in the end zone was called.
You can't be serious.
Our first drop of the night. Thank goodness it came in the post-game show and not at the ending of an exciting game. Jeff Link, David Jones bringing you the action tonight from Spartan Stadium. South Caldwell wins 16-12. We're in the Clay Anders Insurance post-game show. We were just starting the CCC and TI scoreboard report when we went off the air. So we'll recap everything for you. 16-12, South Caldwell with the 4-point victory over North Gaston tonight. They even their record at 2-2. Freedom gets a 20-14 win over TC Roberson tonight. Freedom undefeated on the season, 4-0. TC Roberson comes to Sawmills next week. Polk County gets the best of Patton tonight, 35-14. Polk County evens up their record at 2-2. Patton at 0-3. They'll step into conference play next week. It was Statesville winning 27-14 tonight at home over Alexander Central. The Greyhounds are 4-0 on the season. Alexander Central 1-3. It's week 2 of conference play for the Catawba Valley Conference. Hickory gets a 42-14 win tonight over Newton Conover. Hickory 3-1 overall, 2-0 in the conference. Newton Conover falls to 2-2, 0-2 in conference play. Maiden with a 49-0 victory tonight over Bunker Hill. They improved to 3-1, undefeated in conference play as well at 2-0. Bunker Hill now 1-3 on the season, 0-2 in conference play. East Lincoln with a 49-27 lead over Bandies as they play in the fourth quarter. West Iredell, they get their second conference win of the season. The Warriors, undefeated, 4-0 on the season, 2-0 in conference play. They blanked North Lincoln tonight, 19-0. North Lincoln at 1-3. St. Stephen's in a nail-biter tonight over North Iredell. St. Stephen's well in control of this football game, but North Iredell comes storming back. They come up just a little bit short. Final score from Olin tonight, 49-42. St. Stephen's 3-1 on the season. North Iredell 0-4. McDowell goes up on the mountain tonight. They get a big victory against Avery County, 47-0, as the Titans move to 2-1 overall. Shelby 49-7 over West Lincoln. That game still playing in the fourth quarter. Shelby trying to go 2-0 in conference play. And Lincolnton leads Burns tonight 42-28 as they play late in the fourth quarter.
All right, thank you, Jeff Link, for the CCC&TI scoreboard on Friday night. Let's run through some of the stats. And for South Caldwell, if you get points for consistency, the South Caldwell Spartans should have got a couple of extra tonight. According to my very unofficial stats, South Caldwell came into this game averaging 184 yards on the ground per game this year. They get $186 tonight. Corbin McGinnis averaging 117 yards passing on the season. He got 114 tonight. That's 300 total yards. McGinnis with 24 yards passing in the second half. Of course, South Caldwell didn't need to air it out very much. 3 for 4 through the air. 125 yards on the ground in the second half for the Spartans. 186 yards. That will be a lot of carries. 186 yards on 43 attempts. 114 yards passing for McGinnis on 9 of 12 through the air. For North Gaston, they came into intermission with 67 yards rushing and 15 yards passing. They finished with 93 yards rushing on 16 attempts, 135 yards passing on 8 for 14. So you tip your cap to Kashad Wright, the backup quarterback. However, 55 yards of that 135 total was on one play after the muff punt. That was a one-play drive, and 72 yards of that passing came on 3 completions against prevent defense in the final drive. So overall, 228 yards for North Gaston on the night. South Caldwell wins the total yards battle, 300-228. But the only points that matter is the points on the scoreboard. As Chuck Amato used to say, stats are for losers. 16-12, South Caldwell beats North Gaston, the final score here. And we need to hand out some hardware. It's time to hand out our...
I always love it when you work in a Chuck the Chest reference.
I'm telling you, people, you need to bring your nitroglycerin tablets. We're worthy of the fat stand in the second half. That's a terrible Chuck motto, but if you know, you know. With 40 courses or programs available to choose from, Western Piedmont Community College offers degrees in science, arts, healthcare, industry, business, education, fine arts, and more, located in Morganton at 1001 Berkmont Avenue or online at wpcc.edu. It is the Western Piedmont Community College Player of the Game, and this was a tough one because there were so many young men that contributed tonight. South Caldwell with 3 sacks on defense. J.P. Smith punting the football, catching the football, running the football. Gunnar Farrell in there doing good things for South Caldwell. Kyan Oates kind of doing the yeoman's work. Tanner Barr got a lot of touches tonight. You got some backup players on the offensive line. Brandon Miller doing a good job coming in a backup role, replacing Parker Cobb at center, and I don't think he had any bad snaps tonight. So a lot of players were worthy.
Barnhart with INT.
Barnhart with a big INT down to stop a drive. But at the end, and as a former center, this is near and dear to my heart, McGinnis going under center tonight. He did have some shotgun snaps. 1 or 2 were a little high, but nothing bad. So Corbin McGinnis throwing the football and running the football again, right on his season average, very efficient, 9 for 12, 114 yards. Corbin McGinnis and Mason Holler. our players of the game. Mason Holler just making some great hits on defense, flying around to the football and just running so hard. Those shoulder pads low, knees churning, north and south. No, he doesn't care about making people miss. He doesn't care about – he has no juke button on his controller. He's got north and south, and he's going to leave that imprint of 42 on the defender's jersey. So congratulations to Corbin McGinnis and Mason Holler. They are our Western Piedmont Community College co-players of the game. Jeff Link, you have any thoughts on those young men or anybody else who stood out? And, really, honestly, we could probably tip the cap to Kashard Wright tonight. He came in off the bench, didn't expect to play quarterback, really came up big on that last drive especially. Good job by him. South Caldwell did a good job mostly keeping Keldon Williams in check. So, again, outside of 3 or 4 plays, South Caldwell was the better team tonight. It was just they could never get that working margin that they needed to really feel comfortable. But congratulations to McGinnis and Holler. Those guys really stood out.
Yeah, South Caldwell doing a good job in the second half on third down conversions, 4 of 6. They were just 2 of 6 in that first half, but kept a lot of drives up and going in that second half. The turnover battle was even, 2 turnovers for North Gaston, 2 turnovers for South Caldwell, both of those in the second half. I think the big thing, if there's been a knock on this South Caldwell team going back for the last couple of years, it's been penalties. And I thought we've had South Caldwell now 3 of the 4 games we've called this season have been South Caldwell games. They have done a better job cleaning up things and not playing penalty football. They had an unfortunate 15-yard penalty there late in the game. It didn't end up costing them anything, but it was an unfortunate play, whereas one earlier didn't go their way. And then 2 holding calls, but really that was it. So I thought that South Caldwell held their composure. And again, you knew that they were going to be passing here towards the end of the game. A good job by the defensive players from South Caldwell not to get pass interference calls, not to get any penalties against them. And so that I thought the defense played well tonight for South Caldwell in key moments. As you said, a lot of that chunk yardage on that last play. You're going to get those chunk yardage because you're giving up the middle of the field to not get beat deep on anything. South Caldwell did get beat deep once on the second touchdown that was scored by North Gaston tonight. But a big win for South Caldwell. They needed this. I said in our pregame, I felt like every coach will say the most important game on your schedule is the next game. But I felt for South Caldwell tonight, they lose here tonight, it unravels. And it's a game of inches. And if that young man would have been in bounds, that would have cost. I don't know if South Caldwell could have rebounded from that. I don't know. A heartbreak.
I don't know that North Gaston can rebound.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I don't know if North Gaston will. It was a heartbreaking loss for North Gaston, a good win for South. But if things would have went the other way, had that player been in bounds, I don't know if South Caldwell would have recovered from that. Now this gives them a little bit of hope. They're going to have their hands full against a very good T.C. Roberson team next week before they step into conference play. But felt like they needed this just to keep the locker room together, to keep the community together, keep everybody together as you head into the middle stretch of your season. So big win tonight for South Caldwell. Congratulations, and you move on to the next one. But you're right, for North Gaston, you played hard. You were outplayed most of the game, but you gave yourself a chance to win at the very end. And I know if you're Coach Wilson, you're sitting there thinking, man, we're 1-3 right now. We could very much be
You'd be 3-1.
3-1 right now, because you had the one score loss, 34-27 to Stuart Kramer in the second game of the season, a team that you beat last year. You won a close game 14-7 on week 1 against East Gaston, really. North Gaston.
East Gaston, you're right, yeah.
And so you could very much be 3-1 right now. But you're right. How do you recover from that? How do you get the kids? And they step into conference play next week. And it's going to be an emotional game for Coach Wilson next week. He is a graduate of Hunter Huss High School. He's going to go up against them.
Yeah.
He's got to coach up against his alma mater. He was a 1995 graduate from Hunter Huss High School. So that's going to be, I'm sure, an emotional game for him. But you got to get him up, got to get him ready to play. But fun game tonight. This was a fun one to call. Good job. You did a great job.
Well, the game makes the play-by-play guy, that's for sure. We're almost done here, but we do need to give out and tell everybody what the Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy play of the game is. Brought to you by Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy, a local pharmacy right here in Hudson to fulfill medication needs, including compounding services, while providing a comfortable hometown atmosphere. Don't forget to check out their great selection of gifts and accessories, along with convenient shipping from their UPS store. Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy, 510 Central Street in Hudson. Jeff put on his Prophet's hat with a few seconds to go in this game and just boldly proclaimed, we may not have had the play of the game yet, and yea, verily, it came to pass. We go to the final play of the game after a huge catch of 40 yards, which looked like Keldon Williams caught the football, got hit, and it kind of popped up in the air incomplete. Best we could tell, the officials rule, he caught the ball, came to the turf, and then fumbled it out of bounds, and the ground can't cause the fumble, so the pass and catch counted. So then you've got 4 seconds or so to go from the 15-yard line. Backup quarterback, Kashad Wright, dropped back, had time. That was the thing. He had time. Threw in the back of the end zone. His receiver made the catch. I initially called it a touchdown, but the back judge rushed in waving the incomplete sign because the receiver caught the ball out of the back of the end zone, and that is our Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy play of the game, and here is how it sounded minutes ago. One shot at the end zone. Everything hanging on the South Caldwell defense here as they reset the chains. This will be the last play if there's no penalties. Trips left, twins right. Ball on the left hash, empty backfield for Wright. Slaps the stop at, has the ball. 3-step drop, rolls left, looks to the end zone. Cox throws, caught, North Gaston touchdown.
No incomplete.
No incomplete. He wrote it incomplete. It's dropped and South Caldwell wins. South Caldwell holds on and wins the football game 16-12.
As I said, the Melanie's Hometown play of the game had not happened.
You remember, there's Jeff saying the play hadn't happened yet if you're not watching on Facebook.com. So, Jeff Link, let's go back to basketball season, girls basketball season. South Caldwell goes to Watauga. I think it's a double overtime game, and South Caldwell takes a shot from the volleyball line. It goes backboard, glass, spins out, and then drops back in. And our friends Josh Scott and Scott Elliott up on the mountain said, in and out, and Watauga went, oh, no, he goes through. So we kind of had the same thing, the football version of that. It's a touchdown. Oh, no, it's not. Incomplete out of the end zone. That is your Melanie's Hometown Pharmacy play of the game, and that's the way we end the football game. And South Caldwell fans leaving the stadium tonight are A-OK with that.
Yeah, fun game to call, and we'll get them wrong more than we get them right.
Yes, I guarantee.
But
or
you know what?
15 years. I mean, come on.
We had a lot of fun tonight. These are fun to call. I mean, make no bones about it. Neither one of these teams is going to win a state championship anytime soon, but it was fun. These kids played their hearts out. And, again, as we said at the start of the show, I'll close it again. What had been a heartfelt week. You had 9/11. You had the Charlie Kirk stuff, just a lot of turmoil, the shooting out in Colorado and the attacks against the threats against the HBCU schools. And just been a rough week for this whole country. But it's great when we can come together on a Friday night for a couple of hours, get a good release, have fun, and so it was a good football game tonight, and you hate it for the way that it ended for North Gaston. Your heart goes out to them because they did everything but win the football game there at the very end. But also, if you're a fan of the burgundy and silver, you're excited with how things ended up here tonight. So you'll enjoy it for the weekend, and then all the Georgia fans will be mad at the Tennessee fans tomorrow, and all the South Carolina fans will be mad at the Vandy fans tomorrow, and the Wolfpack fans can just sit back with a big old smile on their face because their weekend's done. And then
3-0, baby.
Yeah, and then we'll all be miserable Sunday when our Panthers take the field.
Yes, Cardinals look pretty good in Week 1. Cardinals look.
Who didn't look good in Week 1?
The Panthers. Yes, they did not look good. All right, tomorrow morning on the scoreboard we will have highlights from this game. We will have scores from around the area. Now the discussion gets a little more interesting. What have we learned through the first 4 weeks of the football season about the teams we follow most closely? We'll discuss that. Vad Lee, state champion from Durham Hillside High School. He also played quarterback in college first for Georgia Tech, then for James Madison. Will be on the show at 10 o'clock. He's now a published author and a motivational speaker. Can't wait to speak with Vad Lee tomorrow morning. We'll look back at last weekend's college football and look forward to the rest of the games. LR in action. It is the home opener for the Bears tomorrow against Emory and Henry between the bricks. Appalachian State on the road at Southern Miss. That could be a tough game for the black and gold. A lot of black and gold in that game. Western Carolina looking for win number 1. A couple of tough ones out of the chute for the Catamounts, North Carolina and Richmond. That is North Carolina needs to win that one handily tomorrow in Chapel Hill. That all starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning on the scoreboard. Of course, NASCAR, round 3 of the playoffs. It's Bristol, baby. All right, that's going to wrap it up from here. Once again, the final score. South Caldwell defeats North Gaston tonight 16-12. For everyone at Foothills Radio Group, Kicks 103.3, Curtis Media, and the Scoreboard, we appreciate you guys tuning in tonight and listening. For executive producer Justin Carlton back at Network Control, Jeff Link alongside, I'm David Jones. Thanks to all our sponsors, and thanks to you for listening. You guys be safe going home. Good